and I'm late, and I'm sorry as usual. This is Reality Krista Marie, who started you on, and I am going to do Real Housewives, of course, of Salt Lake City. And I don't see, I guess I see Aaron. Oh God, hi Aaron. Give me 1 second. Check my other. I forgot to check the other stuff, guys. Yes, this is Reality Krista Marie, who started you on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. If you are listening to this on the podcast side, just if you want to see the crazy live, hop on over to YouTube. I'm trying to do it every Friday at 12:05, but it doesn't seem to be working out that way because I'm always late, but it's around that time. And this one I wanted to do Angie, her mom, because it really bothered me. It bothered me pretty bad, the whole scene. And we're gonna get into it in like 2 seconds. I'm just trying to figure out why my camera's okay. I want to go over the whole episode too, but I said I wasn't gonna like do recaps, but there's a lot of this episode that I really wanted to just take a note on and make note of. But okay. I was just 111, by the way. 11. Oh my God, where's my camera? All right. Okay. So I see Aaron. Sorry, there's late. You guys, I apologize. I'm always apologizing, but all right. So getting into the first part of the episode, right? Well, this one I wanted to do it with Angie. This is where Angie lost me. This is the episode that Angie lost me. And I'm a Monica fan, and I've been a Monica fan, but I'm really a Monica fan now. And so the Who Started You On part, I put Angie's mom, I put Monica's mom and Angie together because I feel like they kind of were like ganging up on her, kind of like a team. And I didn't think that it was right. And so Monica, she won me over completely before anyway because of the Jen Shaw stuff. But she really won me over in this episode because I felt so bad for her. And believe it or not, guys, like even on the Who Side part, the polls, you guys are completely on Monica's side. As far as the polls are concerned, you guys are on Monica's side, right? So, sorry, I gotta keep stopping my cam. You guys are completely on Monica's side, and I was kind of surprised, honestly, because I really thought that a lot of people were going to take Monica's side, Monica's mom's side, because you saw in the episode how the other ladies were like, basically saying, "Oh, she's talking to her mom like that. She shouldn't talk to her mom like that." And basically, oh, hey, reality connoisseur, I'm here. I'm just doing my thing that I don't want to do on camera, but I will be there in a second. But you can hear me, right? But I want to know what you guys think, like, before we get into obviously, like, we're going to talk about what happened. I will drop the link too, but tell me what you guys think about this whole thing as we're going along, because it made me cry. It really did. It made me cry. I felt really bad for Monica. And like I said, I was surprised. I thought everybody was gonna take her mom's side because they thought that she was being disrespectful. And why it does appear that way, nobody in the room really knows the backstory. And if they do, they're not thinking of it at the time, right? At this time. Because Monica, at this point, she's not thinking about who's in the room and who's watching her and who's thinking that she's being disrespectful. All she feels right now, all she hears at this time is that her mom, again, is not taking her side. And, like she says, all she wants her mom to do, she just wants a different mom. And like she recognizes that, her mom's just not, they're not on the same, they're not going to be on the same page. Like they're never going to be it's not going to be a different relationship because of what she grew up with, right? And I wish people in the room, like, listen, would take that into consideration. If they don't, we see it. We've seen the confessionals and the conversations that her and her mom have had, right? But a lot of people in the room, watching the argument, they don't know that backstory. And this poor girl, she's got these, what is it, 3 little kids or 4 little girls running around, and it's like she's trying to get them. She just wants to go, because at that point, she tried to walk away from her mom so many times, and her mom's she's like, either she wanted to go dance, or she was like talking shit with Angie, and like Angie's sitting there, or I'm sorry, was her mom apologizing for Monica? That made me so mad. I'm like, stop it, lady. Like, your daughter, you're the one who's triggering her. And, like I said, I'm going to get into episode 2, but I wanted to know what everybody thought because, like I said, I was completely surprised that the polls, and I'll say it was on Instagram, and I haven't checked the Facebook one yet, but I'm going to check the YouTube one too. But it was 100% Monica. So that kind of makes me happy because I really was like, maybe I'm just a little, I'm one of like 7 kids basically, right? So I was the first. Do you think her mom wants to be the housewife? I'm not really sure. Do I think that her mom's? No, I feel like her mom is trying to portray herself as Monica's mother and having a good relationship, and not being, the relationship that they do have, which we see is not very well. There's a lot of pent up emotion, obviously, like a lot of childhood things that people aren't taking in consideration. At least, I mean, I didn't think they were, but I am. I mean, I sure as heck am. Like I said, I'm one of 7 kids, right? And I'm the oldest. And it wasn't very long that my brother came along, but then I had sisters too. And I was like, I still feel like my parents don't pick me, like I still feel like, like I don't talk to them about like when there's arguments with my brothers and sisters and stuff, or like about stuff because I feel like they don't ever choose me, right? So in that moment, like I know what she feels like, and like I just felt like her mom. I don't know. I would have wanted her mom in that moment, instead of coming over to her quietly and saying, "You're my priority," I want to make sure you're okay first. She should have never said anything to begin with. She should have never taken Angie's side to begin with. And if she should have never been apologizing for her, at least. Do not apologize for my daughter, or you know what I mean, for your daughter. Like that would make me like she said, I feel like I am in the goddamn twilight zone. And like, oh no, my glasses are so foggy, guys. Too sorry. I'm gonna get myself back on camera in a second. But I hate when I'm all twitchy and stuff on camera. But anyway, I know you guys can hear me, but I don't think her mom wants to be the next housewife. I feel like, remember how we had Bronwyn's mom, right? And I kind of thought maybe Bronwyn was kind of being a little dramatic, and maybe she was trying to create a storyline, having issues with her mom. But I kind of feel like I was wrong. I mean, she obviously did, right? And yeah, exactly. Really kind of what you said. Your parents shouldn't choose sides, but if sometimes they're going to choose sides, right? And I don't think my parents ever took my side. I mean, if they did, like, I was not really. I mean, I wasn't the only black sheep. I mean, we all have had our issues here and there, but like, even like starting from little, I was always very like, I just felt, I didn't want to share my mom, but I had to because my brother came along. I was little, but my brother came along shortly after. I was like 4, and it was like boom, 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 right? So, growing up with fighting with my sister so bad and having like my one brother who's like, the golden child, right? The perfect one, right? He's like, we would always joke around. We were little. If we ever wanted anything, we would say, ask Mikey. Mikey will ask him. Michael will ask for it, and we would get it because my brother got everything. Motherfucker still does, right? Just kidding. Love you, Mike. But I know like how she felt. So I'm thinking that when I'm watching, like, you guys everybody was going to be like, no, she's disrespectful. She should have never disrespected her mom like that, blah, 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 blah. But like, oh, it's like, I feel like it's so much bigger than that. Like, it is so much more than that. It's like, and then Lisa and them sitting around talking shit like you guys, I mean, and then Whitney too wanted to go over and again keep talking to Monica. And I don't know if Whitney at that point felt like did she feel bad for Monica at the moment? Did she want to go over there and make sure she was okay? Or did she want to go over there and continue this goddamn conversation? And it's like, we're going to get to that whole thing and what they're fighting about, because I have my opinions on that too. But I feel like, I don't know, the second that Monica wanted to leave and start grabbing her kids, I felt so bad for her. I was triggered by that. And I was like, oh my God, like, that sucks. Because I don't have little kids, right? I don't have kids at all. I have cats. But my best friend Maureen does. All my friends have kids, right? And they're little at this point still. They're like, but I know what it's like. They live next door to me. So to grab all your kids like that and have to take them away from a party in front of everybody, and you're so upset because, like, you realize that your mom again is not being your mom or being the mom that you want her to be. And yeah, they have some issues, right? And they definitely need therapy. And hashing it out on TV is not, or hashing it out at this party. Look, they were not going to hash it out at this party, obviously. So I felt like everybody in the moment should have minded their own damn business and not talk stuff. Like, don't sit there and say, oh, she should never talk to her mom like that. We don't allow Sean. And then Sean, I didn't like Sean's reaction either. I didn't like Sean and Angie's reaction because, to be honest with you, Angie was bothering she would not leave Monica alone. She was like, Monica, you want to talk about this? Monica, you want to talk about this? You want to talk about this? You're the one who said the rumor out loud, what you thought. Now, like, granted, she did, but I don't think at the time she was trying to be malicious, right? And why the hell, Angie, this is like I said, Angie lost me. Why are you trying to bring this up at the dinner? Like, you knew, because we're going to get into the episode, you knew, hey, Lauren, you knew that this is a trigger. Like, this is not going to, like, you don't bring this up at the dinner, okay? And then don't you sit there, Sean and Angie, and go, oh, we don't act like this. We don't do this. We don't do this. And, we don't do this with people around. It's like that. Why did you bring it up then, Angie? Why were you harassing her? Like, she was, like, telling you how you wanted to know, like, whatever you wanted to do, you wanted to talk about it. So then when Monica wants to talk about it, you're trying to, like, gaslight her, okay? That's what you were doing. That's called gaslighting, okay? Her reaction was valid because everybody's feelings are valid, and she was right. But you know what? Like she said, I heard it in these streets or whatever, blah, blah, blah. She's not the one who originally started talking about the husbands, okay? It was Meredith. And just because Meredith didn't bring it up on camera, the actual rumor, she's the one who started with the Lisa Rinna, the husbands, or I don't know, whoever brought that, the Beverly Hills one. Speaking of Beverly Hills, I know I made a side note because I would forget. There was another thing that reminded me of a scene from Beverly Hills, guys. Remind me, I put it in the thumbnail and I can't remember what it was now. But I was like, side note, here's another thing. Here's another oh, the bunny. Was it the bunny? I don't think it was the bunny. No, it wasn't the bunny, but there was something like that reminded me. I have to look at my notes. But something again that reminded me of Beverly Hills. And I was like, here they go, recreating the stuff. I mean, the bunny thing, that was funny. Oh, okay. So even getting into the episode too, right? Mary's son. So Mary says to us, she doesn't know that her son and her son's girlfriend that live there are married, right? She doesn't know if they're married. Again, why is it taking you a year to ask the son and the daughter-in-law who lives in your house if they're married? Mary, mom. And then how are you going to sit there and say to us, he's going to have to man up? I'm not going to support him and his wife. Mary, you already are. You are. He lives in your wing. Remember, like you said, they have their own wing. You are supporting him and his wife. That's why they got married, Mary. Because they don't have to do shit. Because I'm sure, pay for me, which is fine. You're allowed to do that. But shit, why not get married? Right? They're living together. They want to live together. They want to be together. You let them live together married or unmarried, which I think was the problem. I think that ended up being a thing. I think there wasn't like a cops called or something. There was something, right, guys? Remember? There was something that she kind of got in trouble for. I think it was the endangering of her child because of the girlfriend leaving and going to stay at Mary's with her boyfriend, Mary's son, right? So of course they're going to go get married. Yes, exactly, Lisa. I know. I was like, I'm kind of going backwards. I had to talk about the thing with I'm going to talk about the Monica thing again, but I just want to get a couple things out of the way. But that blew my mind. I'm like, Mary, you are supporting them. What do you mean? I think they're in college, right? I'm pretty sure they got married because something happened and legally she wasn't allowed. She was underage or something, right? So Mary, you hear the rumors, right? that he's married again. And I can't believe that it took you that long to ask the son if he's married to her. And what church? They went to the courthouse. Okay. Guess what? So did my stepson. Actually, he tried to get me to sign something. And I said no. And I said, you didn't need me. Yeah, well, witness. I said, you didn't need me anyway, right? He didn't need to do it anyway, right? So I understand what she means, but I was like on top of that. I was on top of it. And again, he did it because he wanted to prove that he wanted to be. I don't know what the hell they did it actually, but anyway, I know, and I'm pretty sure the son did it for the reasons I'm saying. Like, I think it was like easier for them to be together if they're married. We don't even have a reason why. We don't even know why. I mean, I'm assuming we know why. I'm assuming it's because of what I said. But anyway, I'm gonna drop the call link. But I was shocked. I'm like, Mary, how are you saying this to me? And you know what's really sad? We know that her husband's back, right? And I cried when Mary said, "You're all I have." And I'm like, but then Mary, how do you know the man's married? Like, how do you know your son's not married? Like, I'm married, you know? That made me really feel bad for Mary. But I see people wanting to be Mary's friend, okay? We see people trying to be Mary's friend. And yeah, why we do know we know why she's back, because they needed her. You know, Bravo said that they needed her. I'm pretty sure they did. Like I said last week, I was getting annoyed with her. I'm back. I was getting annoyed with her because I'm like, why are you here? You're miserable. Now, see, Erin, I got Erin's comment. Now, I did see you had a comment. I didn't read it first. Monica was acting like, oh, now see, that's the reaction that I thought a lot of people were going to have. Now, Erin just said, what's up on the thing. This is the podcast side is listening, which I forgot to say all that. But I did say Who Started You On podcast. Like I said, you guys can go and watch all the old Who Started You Ons. They're all under the playlist. I redid my entire channel. And yeah, so everything's under there. But Erin D, that's the point. You know, she was, but listen, that she was 5-year-old Monica at that moment. Okay, I'm gonna drop the call like just in case I don't stand up. She was 5-year-old Monica, and she said that I am 5-year-old Monica right now, and she's like, you know, that's what she felt like, and at that moment, I knew what she felt, but I also understood the perception from everybody else, like what Erin just said. It appears that she's being disrespectful and she's acting like a 5-year-old, and you know, her mom was not right in that moment. I don't feel like she was. But I don't know why her mom, I don't know if it's her mom wants to try to make friends. Like she wants everybody to be her friend and everybody to like her. So it's like, you guys, I'm going to see the front of my thing real quick. Let's see the front of my cup. How freaking cute is this guy? Do you see her? I say it's a her. I just got it yesterday at the mall. Isn't he cute? Spencer's. Guys, I haven't been to Spencer's. I didn't even know Spencer's was still there. Okay. Me and George are going to the Eagles-Dolphins game on Sunday. It's in Philly. So we wanted to go get jerseys and stuff. So I found this. I was like, oh my God, there's still a Spencer's. Like me and George have been together for like 9 years, right? We still were like, you know, we were over Spencer's by the time we met, but we were laughing. We're like, I was like, let's get a lava lamp. Like, but yeah, look, it's cute. It's a little weird. It's an alien smoking a joint. Like, that's me. It's me. But anyway, I know. Like, I didn't even know that was still there. I was shocked. I was surprised. And they have sex toys. They sell sex toys. Is that? Oh. You know what I wanted to look for? Oh, you know what I should have looked for? Those cards. Remember the cards that Noella got? The cards that Noella got, remember? I should have looked for them when I was there. I didn't even think of it. Where's my chip? My book list. I didn't think of it. Oh, and another thing from the beginning of the episode, by the way, the Whitney and Justin scene. I'm like, that was so fake. Okay. So, first of all, Whitney. Now, she has a problem with this man working. Again, Why are you cooking a full course meal for your children on a school morning? Is that normal? Because and every mom that I know that has school age children is not cooking bacon and eggs and all that for their kids before they go to work or school or whatever, right? Especially if you're complaining that, oh, I see Erin. I'm sorry. Hi. Erin, are you there? Oh, I think she was frozen for a second. I'll wait till she comes unfrozen, but oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Hey, hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Okay.
Hi.
I just was talking about the Whitney thing real quick. Did that scene with Whitney, did you not feel that was a little bit ridiculous to be cooking bacon and eggs for your school age children and complaining that this man didn't go? Okay.
Okay, so she has done this in the past. She believes in the high like fiber diet, so I think that is what she does for her kids. So no, I didn't think that some of her kids are not that old. So and it's not like she does it every day of the week. So but she was making a nice meal and she just wanted a little help. I thought that was reasonable. I didn't think it was reasonable he didn't get up.
I mean, I don't think it was reasonable to fight about your wedding ring and not wearing your wedding ring and like, you know, I understand Whitney's she's like me, neurotic. Like I am the same way, but I also know that I'm not going to cook breakfast for my kids on a freaking school morning. I don't even see people doing that ever at all. I don't see that ever. I thought that was a little ridiculous. And then we know that he thought it was ridiculous because what his response was, I shouldn't have to ask for sex. He's talking about sex. So we know that this is not a thing.
Yeah.
However, I agree. She does this, I don't know, whatever diet, but she's like, he could have got up and flipped the bacon. And I'm like, yeah, you could have had sex with him. I'm just saying. I mean, you could have sex with him last night. I'm just saying. Saying.
She did explain that she needs an emotional attachment because this is not her first example to him this season that he is not being involved in their relationship and then he just wants, you know, you have to be she has to be emotionally involved with him to want to act.
I agree. And he probably wants her to have, okay, sorry, go ahead.
So I just think that if she's already warned him, you can't keep complaining you're not getting any if you're not then doing what she asked to begin with. I think I would have been okay if he complained if he had then changed stuff from their last conversation. But he obviously hasn't. He's actually gone more not talking to her, more not involved in their lives. So
more
why
working?
should she want to?
More working, you mean? You mean the guy's working, actually?
Yeah, but she's working too full time.
That's what I mean.
Like, if she's putting in the effort with the family, she's saying, if you put in the effort, I'll put in the effort
right
in the bedroom. And he didn't step up, so why should she step up? It takes two.
I agree, but I also feel like Whitney, come on, you're trying way too hard. We don't really believe you right now. Like, I don't think that, because I really think he's sitting there going, why are you, just like I believe with Angie's husband too. I think Angie he's crying because he's looking at her like, how dare you bring my life into this as a storyline. In that moment, I feel like Justin was like, how dare you try to gaslight me? Why, just for us to have a storyline. And he's like, I'm just going to make sure I say something stupid. So these people don't think we really have actual marriage problems. And yeah, and I get it. He is back to work full time, but she's
running two businesses.
But then don't make bacon and eggs on school mornings. I watch my friends who have the same age kids. There's no way that they're cooking breakfast like that.
Well, she's not saying she does it every morning, but she did it this morning. And hey, this morning you could have stepped up. He's not helping any morning, she's saying, though. But this one, when she's burning the bacon and this fire thing's going off, he couldn't get up to help when you can hear the alarm.
I mean, I agree. I do the same thing. I mean, there's a George, because I do talk a lot. I say a lot of extra things. I'm sure my important things get lost. So I have to scream at him sometimes because we have the same stupid thing that goes off all the time.
Yeah.
But, and then, okay, so what did you think about Mary saying that she's not going to support her son and he's going to have to step up and start to support his wife?
I actually felt bad for Mary in the moment because it sounds like she found out about them being married from friends recently, and she found out it was a year ago, and she just found out from hearing it from her friends that he is married.
So is that what it is?
That's what it was. Because I had to rewatch the scene a couple times because
Yeah.
I didn't understand what Mary was saying. So I rewatched it, and Mary said she was hearing it from other people that her son was married.
Yeah.
And not only was her son married, it happened a year ago. And she's like, and she's trying to put
I get
pieces
it.
together and stuff
I get
like
it.
that. And she's like, if it's true,
I get it. Okay.
then I'm not going to support you. So I think that's what she
Her
was saying.
wheels were turning, thinking, "Oh my God, he's been married for an entire year." And
Yeah.
I hear about. Okay, I get
Yeah,
it.
so I could understand from a mother's standpoint, it's her only child. Even if you have friends or anything, they don't replace your child. And he kept this for a year from her. I would be hurt like Mary was. And I thought what Mary's reaction was hurt, and my heart went out for her. Because
No, I
to
agree.
find out a year he's been married and he
Yeah.
didn't say nothing, just
I mean, and she doesn't. And I feel like she does feel. I feel like she does only have him, and that's how she feels. But I also feel like maybe the dad probably knew too. Maybe that's probably because I
I
don't
don't know.
think
He's been gone most of it.
I'm sure that he has a more of a relationship. I don't know, but I want to see what I want to know what's going on with Mary and her son. Like, what? Let's talk about because Mary has some interesting stuff now that we can figure out. Like, why does her son and her have a relationship where he's not telling her that he's married? And remember, do you remember something in the blogs about her getting in trouble for underage endangering the welfare of a child because his girlfriend was staying there and she's underage when he was fighting with her parents. So I think that that's probably why they got married. If that was the same girl, which I'm sure I would hope.
I don't remember this, so I don't know. I am interested to learn more about Mary. I was glad for this moment between her and her son. I feel like her son maybe isn't close to either parent, and out of the two, he's closer to Mary. It seems like because I
Yeah,
think Robert Senior just travels a lot, so I don't know that he is close to his son. But maybe his personality is very laid back, and he doesn't give forth a lot of information. Some people like be interested. It's hard to judge that situation not knowing them very well because we never saw Robert Jr. in most of the past seasons either. It's always like a brief cameo. It felt like a cameo.
and I get excited when I see him because
Yeah, me too. I love seeing Mary at home.
Me too. I like seeing because that's a real relationship that we know she has. So she's not fake in the moment. She's not coming up with her dry, ignorant, I don't like you, comebacks. This is really Mary. And that's and I get excited. I'm like, and she didn't have her hair done. And I'm like, this is Mary. And then when she was going to talk about it with Meredith, she shut it down.
Yeah.
But Meredith isn't her true friend. As much as I can't stand Meredith right now, Meredith is her true friend. And I also feel like Angie and Monica were trying to be her friends too, which I feel like if you don't like the other women, obviously, because now they're not. Like she said, they need to wear taller boots or something. I thought that was funny. And I'm like, I know what she means. I don't know if it made sense, but I know what she means. Oh, I real quick, what did I say about Whitney when she was saying, I feel this and feel that, and I said, I said, go get an effing psychiatrist. It's not Justin's problem. That's what I said. That's just one more note. I just want to make note of that because at that point I'm like, you need a fucking psychiatrist, lady. You don't. It's not your marriage. You need a psychiatrist because so do I. Because I'm neurotic with me.
Who needs a psychiatrist?
Whitney. Because when she's professional, she's like, I feel unappreciated. I feel like and I'm like, go see a fucking psychiatrist then.
Bye, Lauren.
Problem. I love Lauren.
I love Lauren. She's the sweetest person.
Yeah, and that whole thing too. See, that's another thing. We don't even know that. I feel like same thing. When we saw Jen Shah's kids, I feel like they're pretty well rounded. He seems pretty like a decent kid. I don't know. Again, we don't know because we don't really get to see much. Maybe he doesn't really want to be on the camera. But I mean, Chris, the kid must be mature. He got married. You know what I mean? He did something apparently right, I feel like. And I also don't feel like it's a bad thing that he did get married. As much as I say you don't need that piece of paper, he obviously realized that he made a decision. He loved this girl enough at his age to want to marry her. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like, let's meet her. Like, God damn, Mary, we didn't know they lived in your house. Like, what are we doing?
I feel like Mary's just a friend of, so she's only giving us a little bit. I'm hoping that next season, if Mary really does want to be involved, which by
Right.
her calling and talking to Angie and saying, "Hey, I really was going to come," even though she said to Meredith she wasn't. I feel like that was a genuine call. It felt genuine. Um, I feel like if Mary wants to step forward and be a Real Housewives, then I want to see the rest of her life. I want to know more about Mary. I want to know more about Mary anyway. I don't dislike Mary. I like Mary's personality. I think she's funny. I think she's straightforward. I
Yep.
didn't like what was done to her in the past because I don't feel like she explained it either. I felt like so there was a lot of confusion with Mary. I would love to know more about Mary. That's my
But I
point.
also feel like she should never have to address the witch hunt that went on with her life because she
No.
did anyway. Thank God. And I'm so glad that she didn't do that. And I'm glad that her mom did the interview with Adam because
Yeah.
that is where I was like, you know what? These people, like, you know what? This Mary does have feeling. Like, she's
Yeah.
not, you know, and I feel like her responses that people don't like are her defense mechanisms. But like, you see her with her son, and that's like how she's comfortable. So I forget she's a friend of. I forgot. I thought she's full time, right? But
No, Mary is a friend of, so that's why we're only getting part-time Mary. And the interview she's talking about was on Up and Adam about 2 years ago with Mary's mother. It was wonderful. If you want the backstory, I will drop Up and Adam's channel in the chat.
yeah, it's a really, really good interview.
It
and
is.
it made us really like it. And it also, the fact that Bravo brought her back anyway, and people wanted to see her, the things that people allege and all that, like I said, you can allege anything you want about anyone, really. I mean, you know, but, and I like, you know, getting into this whole thing with, okay, so at the moment, Monica did turn into 5-year-old Monica at that moment. I feel like she did. She turned into the Monica that wanted her mom.
Yes. So here was my thought process.
Okay.
Angie came off very strong. Monica, of course, is going to put up her defenses. I think when her mother came over, it was for Monica. But I think Monica and her mother have a lot of issues because I think she came over being like, calm down, because she didn't want her daughter to look bad on camera. I think it really was coming from, I'm trying to calm you. I'm trying to be there for you. It did go very badly because Monica was already upset. Her and her mother have a long history of bad stuff, so she doesn't trust that relationship. I think, because I did rewatch it a couple times, her mother was coming over not to defend her, which is what Monica wanted.
Right.
She was coming over to make her daughter not look bad on camera. So I do think her intentions were good. I think her intentions and what Monica wanted were two different things. I think they have very different personalities. I do think that Monica acted like a 5-year-old and her mother was trying not to have that shown on camera because I think her mother legit does love her in her own messed up way. I think there's a lot of history we don't know yet. Even the stuff we know is bad. I think there's always two sides to every story, to be fair. That story looked like her mother was trying to defend her. Monica wanted something else.
Yeah.
And what you got and what you have are two different things. And I think it went bad. We do now know that the reasons that Monica left were also because she fell down some stairs.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was actually reported now that has come out because of the bruises she put on Twitter. So the full story has come out that she did slide down some stairs that was not shown on camera. It was just a few stairs. She did get some bruises. She had to go to the ER, Bravo Center to the ER. That's why she left so quickly with her shoes in her hand. Because I was like, why are her shoes in her hand?
Well, at that moment, I thought it was like she was just done. Her mom, nobody would like. First, Angie wouldn't leave her alone. Angie approached her and kept wanting to talk about it, right? Yeah. But we can get that in a minute. But like when she was grabbing all the kids, they made it a scene. And I've seen
but that was Bravo editing.
I know, and I'm like, I didn't know
because she had actually fallen, which is not apparently on camera. She had slid down some stairs. That's the bruises she has on her legs because she was trying to explain, I guess, on Twitter badly why she left. It wasn't because she was having a tantrum. And that is the part where I'm mad at her mother. If she had gotten hurt, she should have been not going over and said, I wanted to want to dance because apparently when she was sitting on the couch, she had already fallen.
I was like, where did she fall? When did
remember, she did leave the camera, and this is a 2-floor thing. When the kids were looking for the Easter eggs downstairs, which they call a basement, which is a finished basement, beautiful and everything like that. Wow. She went downstairs, and that's where she might have slid or something. I didn't quite understand what exactly happened. Allegedly, we're going to say allegedly.
Cut out of the. Why is it cut out?
But it seems like that's the part where Monica is truly seems upset with her mother because her mother didn't care for her when she was hurt.
But they didn't make it seem like that at all.
They didn't make it seem like that. And I think she was already mad. She wanted her mother to be with her. And I think that's the part where I disagree with her mother. When Monica left the situation, yes, you can apologize for your daughter, but then you go with your daughter.
Right.
But that's the part where I thought Monica's mother was wrong. It's one thing to apologize because Monica did seem wrong in that situation. She was yelling. And Angie, even though she did come to attack her, she was still keeping a mild tone. And Monica did take it to the next level. I'm not saying she was right.
Yeah.
I'm saying Monica did take it to the next level. She felt like she was defending herself. That's her personality. And that's okay. But Angie shouldn't have started it at this dinner. I think the real culprit, though, was Lisa Barlow for pushing Angie to do it at that thing.
Exactly.
And before she had met with Lisa, she didn't see anything wrong with what Monica had done. She got kind of twisted by talking to Lisa Barlow when it was Whitney. And so, just another perspective.
And when she was talking to Lisa about it, and Lisa, I really believe that Angie thought that Lisa was insinuating that Meredith was the one, when she was saying to her, she shouldn't have brought up that Lisa was saying, she did this before, blah, blah, blah. And then I think Angie thought Lisa was talking about Meredith. And then Lisa, she goes, I was surprised you invited her. And then in that moment, Angie realized, she's like, oh my God, she's talking about Monica. Because like you said, she had no problem with Monica doing it. She still had the problem with Meredith. So Lisa, you're right. Lisa then says that. And Angie goes, oh, she meant Monica. And she's like, oh yeah, Monica. And she's like, but she should have never invited her then. But when she said that she invited her and her mom, I was so happy for that. Because it's like, okay, great. Because then, she could meet her family, Angie's mom. And like, look how much fun. Like when soon as she walked in, she like her mom, she got along with the dad. Like, she was like, she was very like personable. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like maybe she'll finally feel like she'll have like, I don't know, just something like nice to do with her mom. Maybe hang out with that family or something. You know what I mean? But
in an ideal world, when Angie brought that up, I feel like if Monica had kept her cool and said, hey, is it that I brought it up on camera that is the problem? Because I think Monica's not trying to break the fourth wall, but that's when Angie is upset. Not that Monica said it, but that Monica said it on camera.
But see, I don't even think Angie realized that whole thing on camera was a whole thing.
No, I don't think she realized it till she talked to Lisa Barlow, which I've said. But I think if Monica had they come, but that's not Monica's personality. We have not seen that throughout the season. She is going, if you come for her, she's coming. Like that's her personality. And I think that does have to do with her childhood. She has explained that. Yes. So I think there is nobody who was really wrong, but nobody who was really right either. I don't feel like there was a winner and a loser in any of the situations, not with Monica and her mom. No. I feel like they both wanted different things, and that was the problem. Not necessarily their actions, but their what they wanted was the problem. Their communication is not there at all.
No.
They don't understand each other at all. We've seen that already. And I think with Angie and Monica, I think they will become friends again. I don't think this is something that's going to ruin them. I think they'll come back out of this. I think Monica will address this and finish this conversation with Angie, and I think they will clear the air. I think Lisa Barlow and Monica have the real issue that will be dealt with. That is my theory.
Yeah.
What is your theory?
Well, I also feel like, okay, so now Angie knows, first of all, Angie she came to her, and Monica said to her calmly a couple times, she tried to explain herself, and she kept saying, she was done with the conversation. Angie will not let it alone. Now, you guys know with me, if you see me starting to get, now, if I'm telling you calmly, you start to see me starting to get, like, I'm telling you 3 times to stop talking or don't bring up, you guys are not going to harp on me and make me talk about it, because you see me getting upset. So when Angie sees Monica getting upset and she keeps telling her calmly, Angie knows there's something going on inside. Like, you know what I mean?
Now, like, Angie and Monica did not know each other that well, so she may not know the warning signs, because we're looking at it, we see all the footage.
True.
I think they have been surface friends who were friends with the same person, got hurt by the same person. I don't think they know each other that well. That's True. Why I do think that Angie did not know she was getting under Monica's skin, and she did not know Monica's tics yet. They have not been friends long enough to know each other that well. We see a lot of footage that they don't know about.
See, and Angie too. Angie's stronger than Monica too. And that's nothing. Angie knows that. So I got upset with Angie and Sean when they're like, she shouldn't act like this in our home, saying she shouldn't act like this. And it's like, you guys, stop it. Like, stop. She's obviously struggling. Your wife won't leave her the hell alone. And Meredith and Lisa really are the problem.
Okay, but I looked at it from a different perspective, from especially the husband and Angie's standpoint at that. Because I think when the mother stepped over, I watched, because I told you I watched a couple scenes. Angie did sit back in the chair like, wait a minute, maybe I am triggering Monica. And I think she did try to stop the conversation then. I think once Monica's mother walked over, though, I feel like that intensified Monica.
Oh, yeah, big time.
So I feel like Angie at that point had stopped. Because she was like red flagging, going, because she said to the mother, no, we're okay, we're talking it out. So to be fair, she did say to the mother, because I think she saw Monica get triggered by her mother.
You're right.
I think that's the part that they were talking about, the husband and thing. Because they do not know the history between the mother and Monica. So they're just looking at it as like a completely outside, do not know they have any problems, going, I would never talk to my parent like that. But they don't know any history yet.
You're right. I do remember.
And Monica had not been true friends yet. So I looked at it from that perspective. If you saw somebody acting like that, and she did act like a 5-year-old, right or wrong, she did act like a 5-year-old. And I would say at a party, like, God, I would never act like that in public. That's their perspective going into it. So I can give that an exception, because they're looking at it from an outside view, not an inside view like we are.
True. And then and the polls, actually, like the Instagram poll, there were 7 votes. It was 100% Monica, which I said in the beginning I was surprised about, because I thought everybody would see it from your perspective. And I see it because I'm always thinking I'm always the loser with my parents too. Like, if it's me and my siblings, I'm always the one who's wrong, right? So I'm like, I see it that way. Like, I see Monica as that 5-year-old Monica that just wants her parents to take her side. And, again, Monica asked her mom 5 or 6 times to please leave me alone. Get away from me, leave me alone. We also didn't see her fall down the steps. So bravo. I can't, like, because see what I did? I made the poll about it like that way, not knowing that there was a whole other reason why she was also upset.
Yeah, I also could not vote in your poll because I didn't agree with either one of them. I thought they were both wrong.
And how
do you say that? I like what Trish said here. Hi, Trish. And Trish said, when one deals with parents, one becomes a child again. And I think that is what happened to Monica. That's exactly why she was acting like a 5-year-old, because you do become a kid again. So,
and she said it in her confessionals, and that made me so sad for her.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with saying she was acting like a child. She knew afterwards. She knew she did. So
she also said, look, like, I am that 5-year-old in that moment. She's like, this is just reminding me of all the times that I wanted my mom. And when she was saying, I just want a different mom, I'm like, oh God. Like, that just broke my heart. Like, because I know her mom's going to see that too. And I feel bad for both of them, but it's like,
yes, no winners, no losers in this. Yeah. Well, maybe all losers, to be honest with you. I don't think anybody came out of this episode looking good.
Right.
I really don't. Even Lisa Barlow with trying to mess with, whatever they call that, pot stirring. She did not. Nobody came out of this episode looking good, and nobody won in any of those fights. Andrew didn't win. Monica didn't win. Monica's mother definitely didn't win. And none of them were completely right, and none of them were completely wrong either. So,
I mean, I agree with you, but I do, like, I have to take, I mean, I just, not knowing that she felt also, but falling on top of also having to deal with like what happened, because like her mom did go from 1 minute she wants to dance again. We didn't see the edited, came off really horrible. The edited made both of them look really bad. But like, she did tell her, I'm leaving, find your own ride home. Like Monica, like after all that, her going to scoop up her kids, like imagine, I mean, we don't have kids, but I've seen somebody trying to rope up 4 little kids that are at a birthday party that don't want to leave. And you're upset, and you just want them to come, and they're crying, they don't want to go, they want to go to Easter egg hunt, but like, yeah, see, we didn't know that she fell.
If you guys want to know the full story about the falling down, where I learned it was called the pink, it was called the pink box, the pink pop box. I'm going to put the link in the description. He's great. He's a content creator on Instagram. I don't think he has any other channels yet. Great. Go support him. Follow him. Please, tell him Krista Marie sent you. He is also friends with Philly Diva, but make sure you let him know that Krista Marie sent you. Please subscribe to him. He's trying to get his followers up, and he's great. He's got a lot of Jersey details too. He's from Delaware. He's got a lot of. He's been to the shows that happen in Jersey, so please go support him. Yeah, he's great.
What is his name again? I've seen Pink Pop Box, right?
Pink Pop Box is his name on the Instagram.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay.
Wonderful guy. I love him. Very, very charismatic, I think is the word. I'm very bad at
the Posh Fashion Show.
Yeah, he was at Melissa's show.
Did he go to Melissa's?
He went to Melissa's show.
We're gonna have to talk to him because I need backup. Okay.
He's wonderful. Friends with Philly Diva. I love him. Go support. Go follow.
Definitely. All right. So so what was there? He came with the story.
So he has the full story right at the beginning of his live from last night, so everybody can go listen to him. He goes live pretty late at night. But he's great. I really like him. Just good guy. I like when you find good content creators, and I like that he pushes other content creators, which is what we like in our family.
Yeah, exactly. And
go support me.
Oh, okay. Yes, Aaron's always at the juice, guys. Oh, and the juice too. I always everybody.
I forgot to say the juice.
Yeah, the juice. You work fast. I like seeing you keep putting everybody's things in. Aaron's working pretty fast. She's putting everybody's links, but not only just putting the links, I'm always going to attach them to our description too, to the description. But again, yeah. So Monica, apparently, guys, in the middle of this argument and her trying to get her mom to see her side of it, and her mom telling her, calm down, and also apologizing for her daughter, which I didn't like that either. I just didn't like her apologizing for her either. Her mom apologizing.
I thought that was because her daughter did have that outbreak. Most parents will. My parents, if I acted like a child, would go up and apologize. That has nothing to do with me. I understand from your perspective, you have a different relationship with your parents, so you could probably relate to Monica's situation better than I can.
I'm also an adult too. I mean, I just don't. But see, like, I would be like, did she tell her to stop apologizing? I don't even know if she said stop apologizing for me.
Okay, we are very close friends.
Yeah.
So we go somewhere, and if you have one of your mental breakdowns for a moment, I would apologize for you to other people who do not understand that situation going on. I would say, I'm sorry that this situation happened at your place. I think that's all that was. I may not apologize for what you said. I think that was maybe too much. I would apologize that this situation happened here. Hopefully we can talk about it later. I would say something like that, and we can explain it later. But as your friend, because we are so close, I would feel comfortable. I would probably get you away from the situation, have you settled. I would probably go back and apologize though for you to the situation. Not that that they were completely innocent, but maybe that she had gone too far. And I would feel comfortable if you had a mental moment, which we all can have, And I would feel fine if you did that for me. If I had a mental like breakdown or something, and you went back and said, you know what, she's just having a bad day. I'm sorry, because we are so close. And I felt like that's what her mother was hoping that was. I don't think she made it as a bad intention.
No.
I can understand why Monica doesn't like it, but I can also understand why her mother did it. So I think there are two sides to the coin.
Yeah, and I definitely see both. Like, because you can tell that her mom doesn't know what to do with them. Her mom knows that Monica said she knows exactly what Monica feels, but she's in front of all these people. How do you can't go into your whole life story? This is why my daughter, But hopefully people watched it back, like, because there's a lot of people. I don't know if they edited it this way or not, but all these people were like, "Oh, they're leaving. She's leaving. Oh, she's talking to her mom like that." And I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like. This, and then I'm serious. It looked like a very small room. Again, we didn't know about the second floor and all that. You probably heard these people saying, "Oh, look how she's talking to her mom," and everybody's like saying all these, like, talking about her. Why is she making her kids leave? And I'm like, oh my god! Like, not only does she just have this fight with her mom in front of everyone, she feels like the 5-year-old Monica. Then she's got these people that are supposed to understand her. I don't know if they're supposed to understand her, but like, I don't know. I feel like somebody in that moment, I don't even know what Whitney's motive was, the one to go talk to Monica and calm her down. But I felt maybe at that time, Whitney maybe saw Monica's side in that moment, maybe because Whitney also has that issue with, she has, with her dad. Like, she has a very different relationship with her dad. And I think maybe Whitney at that moment saw Monica struggling. Like, Monica knows that she just had this outburst in front of everyone. She also was so extremely hurt because, like, I understand. Like, I probably would want you guys to. I think about it, like, I would want you guys to apologize for me too. But I also I know that later on down the line, I know that people are probably, we could explain it, and people are also going to see this whole thing play out before they were going to watch it back and like, oh, I was there. Now I understand why all that happened too. So I just don't want her to look bad because of her childhood trauma. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's coming off that way at this party. And it probably was, it's bound to happen. You have 4 little kids. It's hard to even get them at a birthday party. And try to write, I just can't even imagine bringing 4 little kids. Like, I watch what Maureen goes through. She's only got 3, right? We have such a hard time, just me and her, because there's no father, going anywhere, bring them to the shore, any birthday parties. We can barely get them dressed to go and all, want to leave at the same time, right? And then to have all these people going, oh my god, like she's talking about, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and their mom going, let's dance. Like, again, we didn't see that part, but like Lisa too, I also feel like I said, like, what if Lisa thought, Lisa turned that whole thing around, and Angie said, and I knew that was happening because the day that when that actually happened on camera, Dad watched what happens live. Angie was there, and I didn't know she was upset with Monica at the live and watched what happens live. And I'm like, oh wow, somebody got to her and made her believe that maybe this was all Monica's fault, not Meredith's. But she didn't invite Meredith, right?
No, and no, she didn't invite Meredith.
I mean,
but okay, in
why
the
did she invite Meredith if she's upset with, why'd she invite Monica then?
Well, I think she had already invited Monica prior to the whole situation coming out. I think she thought she could squish this with Monica.
I think she can.
I think she's legit. That's why I think Angie's delivery wasn't good, but I think her intention was good. I think her intention was to squash this.
I think her intention was to do it on camera and making a scene on camera.
But I think she thought that was her job. After all, this is her first
that is her job.
Full-time housewife. This is what she thought her job was to do, was to squish it on camera. And she thought, even though maybe watching back, she thinks her delivery sucks, but they feed you a lot of stuff by the producers and stuff. So I want to give, I like Angie and I like Monica. I want to give them both some grace. I think this is just a really bad communication issue.
I would like Angie to go back and, like, I don't know. Again, I also feel like this rumor about Sean, this whole thing, I feel like they all kind of set this up in the beginning before the show even aired. I felt, because I really do believe, yes, exactly. I do believe that they are taking a bunch of scenes out of, Beverly Hills and recreating them, kind of, especially now we don't have an exact.
No, it's Easter. You're going to have a bunny in Easter.
But
they do not own the bunny. I get so mad about people talking about the bunny. It's Easter. What? You're going to have a bunny. Let the bunny go.
It
I'll
makes
get you
sense.
many things. Let the bunny go.
Let the bunny go. I don't
Let
think
the
I'm going to
bunny go.
let the bunny go. I'm never going to let that go. Especially
You can
with
hold on to it, but you cannot compare the fact that they had a bunny cake. Like, people are comparing the bunny cake to the bunny on VH. I'm like, it's Easter. You're going to have a bunny. Who doesn't have a bunny for Easter? You
I know.
anti-bunny people.
I mean, and yeah, I mean that is a thing to send these weird invites out. Remember Karen with the butterflies that were all dead? Karen,
Yeah.
I don't know what her theme invite was for on Potomac, but you were supposed to open a box and butterflies were supposed to fly out.
Yeah.
The bunny was in Heather's. I mean, yeah. See, now I can't stand Heather. I keep forgetting that Heather. Louis, I forget that she's even there, Heather. I also feel like Heather. What did you think about the scene with Heather wanting to be a good friend to Lisa about the whole situation with Jack, but then saying on camera all these bad things and thinking that he's doing it for clout and he's doing it because his friends are doing it? And I mean, doesn't she understand why Lisa doesn't want her in this conversation?
I think, okay. First of all, Heather has gone around this really badly because first she did go to Whitney and say that she does not support Jack. But now she's going to Lisa going, oh, I would have given him good advice and stuff like that. No, you wouldn't have. You made that clear in the past, which is okay for your friend to say, I love you. I respect our friendship. I'm going to tell you this, but I don't want your opinion because I know that we do not see this the same and it's okay to disagree. True. But it's not okay for you to share this disagreement when it comes to my child, which I think that's what Lisa was trying to say badly.
Yeah. No, I think Lisa said it the right way. I'm choosing to support my son, and I'm choosing to support him as a good Mormon.
She did not have to bring up the negative stuff, though. She could have just said, I know we disagree. I'm not going to read your book.
Well, I mean, she
didn't have to diss it because I think that's what made Heather mad.
Well, Heather's a fucking hypocrite. Sorry. and as much as I can't stand Lisa, in that moment, that's her kid, right? Do I understand? I think that Jack's doing it for all the right reasons. I don't think what the daughter said is correct. I think that you write a book called Bad Mormon. You have nothing but your experience. That's all she's talking about. Her experience from 30 some years ago on a mission. Now, do I know anything about missions? No. Maybe I don't know what they do, but the daughter did say in the end, maybe he's doing it for the right for community and all that crap. But the way she said it, she made it sound like he's doing it for clout. And again, maybe Lisa doesn't, like you said, we don't need you, Heather, telling Lisa what Jack should expect and what's going to happen when he comes home. Jack's already made it quite clear that he's nothing like his mother and his father, and he has his own personality. So how does Heather know anything about this kid? You know what I mean? She doesn't know this kid. Like, as far as I know, she doesn't know how this kid. Lisa doesn't even know her kid. No offense, Lisa. But how does Heather think that she knows what this kid's doing? Like you said, she went around this horribly, because she wants to be a pick me. Tell me. I want to be your bestie now. Well, not when you're going to tell my kid all these horrible things about your mission from 1982, probably. Or I don't know, whatever, somewhere in the 80s or 90s. I'm just saying, things have changed. And Jack, I was freaking proud. Don't tell me anything that's going to make me not proud of my kid. You know what I mean? Because I think Lisa's so proud of her kid, especially because he's nothing like her. And I think that's what she loves about him. But
I think Heather was hoping that she would go to her for advice, and it wasn't 1982. It was in the 90s. But I would say, I think Heather was hoping it could be a bonding experience for them. Oh, I did this too. Let me give you some good advice. Stuff like that. I think that's what Heather was hoping for. I don't think Lisa ever logically thought that was going to happen. No. So I think that is just the difference between the two.
I mean, Lisa's just finding out and processing what's happening with her son. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think they are close enough that they can talk about Lisa's son. And I think Heather wishes they were. I think that is the difference. But at the same time, I think Lisa wishes she was closer to Heather, but not when it involves her family. So they're just a confusing relationship that makes no sense. They
I
want
think
to be friends but can't figure out how to be friends. That's all they are. They're just one big old mess.
I don't think Lisa wants to be friends with Heather at all, and I don't think
Oh,
Lisa would ever be friends with Heather in
she
real
got
life.
she got upset that Angie got called over to Heather's house. She is jealous. She does want a relationship.
No, she wants attention. She wanted to, she made it clear to
Okay.
Heather she was upset because nobody was there for her. Not Heather. Nobody. Because when Heather was like, oh, Lisa's upset because she wanted my attention, it wasn't even about Heather. It made it seem like it was about Heather in the very beginning. But then when you watch Lisa go, well, like, or Heather, what is she? She's like, nobody being there for her. And I was like, oh, good one, Lisa. That's just, but she doesn't really care about that relationship with Heather only when it's not about her. She doesn't really care. Like when it's not about her, that's when Lisa cares. I mean, honestly, if it had to do with Heather, and I just feel like Heather is starting to like. I don't know. Heather ruined everything with her black eye situation. And Lisa, as much as I can't stand her most of the time, she's made a lot of good points this season. As much as she ruined it, she's right about the whole thing with her kid. Like with Heather, like I'm never going to talk to you about my kid. And I don't think that I don't want to compare. I mean, I see what Lisa's comment about Monica. I feel like the information about Sean came from Jen Shah. If there is anything in the Utah streets, I'm pretty sure it's not a secret. So I also, like I said, I feel like they came with the most generic housewife rumor that you can think of. The husband's gay, cheating on her, blah, 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 blah. We know every franchise has one. We get it. And allegedly, I don't think half of them are true, but I'm just saying, let's come up with the most generic thing we could come up with that's a real housewife jinger, and let's make it a whole thing, and let's just give ourselves a storyline because we're new, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I feel like Sean, at the moment, Sean goes, oh my God, you're using me as the storyline.
Yeah. Now, I know we've talked about that. I do have to pop off in a second, so I just kind of want to ask you, with the preview, what are you looking forward to the most? Because I showed what was going to happen for the rest of the season. What is the thing you are looking forward to finding out the most, and what looks the most interesting to you?
The thing with what is this thing that Meredith, what's going on with Meredith?
The hospital thing?
Is that a hospital thing, or is she getting an IV bag? An IV for the next time you're
Yeah.
home?
I'm very curious of that, and I want to know what happens to Heather. It sounds like somebody may have passed away. When the first season started, I thought it had to do with the old Jen, who I don't want to talk about. But I'm wondering what happens to Heather, and that. So that is my curiosity. What's going to happen with the rest of the season?
Are you popping out? You have to go to Juice. Is Juice doing?
No, I'm just having my anxiety.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. What are you looking most for? So that's everything. So you're good.
Yeah.
But you're doing good. You look so cute. I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I see you already reached your hour, and I know you like to cut it at an hour anyway, so I'm going to get out of your way.
Okay. Bye. Thanks for coming up. I love when Erin comes up. Because like I said, you guys, you can go back to when I first started doing Who Started You On. I don't think I might have did them by myself. I don't think I ever have. But me and Erin did them for a really good time. A good amount of time. It was mostly Jersey. We did because when we were doing it, it was hey Terry, I'm so glad you guys are here. These like you guys, everybody that's in the chat, that's our group, that's our family right here. Like this is where we all started. It was only us, Terry, Trish, me, Erin. I see there's a lot of people watching too, guys. Like I said, I'm going to always download these onto Spotify and Apple on the podcast, but they're always going to be on YouTube, also under the YouTube podcast Who Started You On thing. Even though I'm always going to be a reality with Krista Marie. Candace's here, reality with Krista Marie. I love doing Who Started You On because I realize like it's always Who Started You On. You know what I mean? There's always a feud going on. So that's why I always keep Fridays open for the housewife feuds. I didn't do Southern Charm this week because again, the episode from last week would have been this Monday. I would have did. All we did was find out what we already know. And then the episode this week was a really hard one to watch. So I'm not even going to get into it. I cried the whole time and I should have known not to watch it. before I did this because it took me a little bit to calm down from it. It's a really, really hard one to watch. But so that is why there's no Southern Charm. The House of Villains, I'm probably going to erase the entire thing. But let's get a little bit back into it. I did drop the con link, Kendra, if you want to come up, because I agree with you. And I don't know if you heard the beginning of this. I feel like Monica did turn into 5-year-old Monica at that moment. Her mom in the moment was the only one that understood why Monica was acting like that. Okay. So in that moment, as much as, she did appear to look like she was acting like a 5-year-old, being disrespectful to her mom. Why she told her mom like that. Again, they edited it. I didn't realize that they goddamn edited out the part where she actually fell down the steps. So in the middle of all this, trying to round up, and I see what it's like when you have to round up 4 young kids that you have to take away from a birthday party in the middle of one or whatever they're at. They're at a party hanging out with their, whatever, you know what it's like, right? And you're also having, oh, look at you, hottie. Also having, hello. You're having a breakdown. You don't want Lisa Barlow going, look at the way she's talking to her mother. Look at how she's acting, blah, 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 blah. It's like, excuse me? Like, anyway, so
let's clear this up. Lisa Barlow has always had it in for Monica. Even before this season happened, the word was on the street that Lisa Barlow did not like this new person what's come in. So that was given. So of course she's going to be there for wooden spoon staring it. And the thing is, of all places, Angie brings that up.
Yep.
At Easter family gathering. I mean, yep. she could have brought it up like on another time, like just say Monica taking her out for a lunch or something like that, and spoke one-on-one. But no, she had to do it in front of everyone, and it's wrong time, wrong place, wrong event. And the thing is, with the mother, I could see where the mother was coming from, like trying to make it neutral. But when Monica is saying to her mother, like, back off, like, the mother should have just walked away.
I know.
She should have, like, the mother, it seemed like the mother was, like, antagonizing it more and more, making it about her having a fight with Monica than the actual original situation. Like, read the room.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. In that moment, Monica's mother is the only one understanding what her daughter's going through in that moment, because she knows the relationship with her daughter. And Monica's sitting there saying, Mom, are you serious right now? Like, knock it off. Like, why you're doing it? Stop. Like, again, we didn't know she fell on the steps, but and again, you invited her there, right? You didn't invite Meredith, the person who brought up the fact that there is rumors going around. Like I said, generic housewife move. But why did you invite Monica? I guess it's, she thought it wasn't that big of a deal. But again, what she did bring up to her is a big deal in housewife land. You said this on camera. Like you said, that's definitely the wrong hill to shoot. Like,
do you know what makes me laugh? The backlash what Monica's getting. And then these comments from Angie, these little comments, what she's saying, telling them to shut the F up and stuff like that. And Lisa Barlow with her little catty comments, like online on social media. And I'm just like,
because I missed a little bit of it. Like, I saw something yesterday, but
it's just it just goes to show what type of people they are. And then this random friend of Monica's came out with all this crap about Monica wanting to run, and like turned on her, and I thought, well, you're not exactly a friend if that's the case.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. Like, so Monica's already saying, like, you've heard this stuff about me. She said, "What do you got for me?" I mean, what she was going to run? Is that what she said? She was going to run. What did they say she was going to do, Monica, her friend?
Well, basically it was, she said that she wanted Monica wanted her on the show, and she had to only speak in Portuguese, and there was going to be some kind of storyline going there where Monica was going to be the top dog or something like that. And something about Monica, no one knows what Monica's really like, and she's very controlling. You wouldn't want to go against her. I mean, who does that?
That is so stupid. Think about it.
It's just like, you've just wrecked yourself, as well
I
as
mean,
someone else.
you want to be relevant, right? This sounds like
Yes.
with Margaret's friend. So
It
you know this
screams
person so
West.
well, right? But she wants to be the top dog. And Monica's being herself. Monica has the most things stacked against her. And think about it, right? All
What,
these things, she's already admitted to all of it.
what I say, this is Krista. She was straight honest to Angie. Maybe, yeah, don't do it on camera. But they brought up the situation. They were wanting it to come out. It's a rumor what's been going around. You've seen Angie's reaction the other week before. She was not shocked because
No.
she's used to it. And
Right.
then you got Lisa Barlow this week stirring it, putting thoughts in Angie's head. And like, I'm sorry, like she is the wannabe puppet master of the show. Her and Whitney with the gaslighting. I'm just like, these two women are the most corrupt women on this show and cause the most trouble. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of Angie, but she does make good TV. But the thing is, so does Monica. And
Exactly.
it's refreshing for once. Monica came out and said straight to her face, look, these are the rumors what I've heard.
Right.
You need to know this. And Meredith never said anything regarding it. That's the thing. And when they roll back the clips and when they go at this reunion further on, and it shows this, Angie's going to have a lot of egg on her face because Meredith clearly did not say anything. And they'll show the clips.
I think the only person that's actually shocked that it's being talked about is Sean on camera, because I feel like he was like, "Oh my God, you!" Like I really do believe they all set this up to be some storyline, like even including Angie, right? And like, there's something I heard something about. There is something else that Meredith didn't say, like a real rumor or something, and I'm like, how much worse could you? What else could be out there about him, right? You know what I mean? Like,
the thing is, Krista, what you got to understand is Meredith Marks' son is gay.
Right.
She understands what it's like for outing someone. She is representing a group of people what get outed or get mistreated. Why would she do that?
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, she didn't. You're right, but she also said she did think something about rumors. Like maybe she wasn't referring to that exact rumor. And now that I think about it, you're right. Monica did just assume it was that rumor.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
Did you notice how Whitney pushed her on, saying you need to tell her this?
Yes. And that's what
this is the people pulling the strings.
Yeah. Staying going out. See, that's the thing. Monica. Let's credit Monica and Angie are new housewives. Okay, they are. I don't think Monica in the moment was knowing that she was saying it on camera and thinking of it that way, right? Maybe, like you said, she was just doing her job. And this is something that I think Monica and Angie can just be like, oh, you know what? Because to be honest with you, guess who's the common denominator with all the women right there? Jen Shaw. Jen Shaw's the one who told Meredith this thing.
I'm telling you, Krista, when Jen Shaw will be coming back and she'll be bringing a book. She'll be bringing a book out as well, and this is going to be World War III when she comes back because of how all the women have got on. This is Bravo Gold when she comes back. The other thing is, well, Mary Cosby spoke a lot of truth in what she said when she was talking to Meredith about the way the women behave and how they confront each other acting like Neanderthals. I know you're not a fan of NY, the new one, but in NY, they resolve their problems straight away and they can talk like adults and get it sorted out and make it easier. This is the problem with Salt Lake. They can't. They have to gaslight everything and make it a big event. Instead of being grown-ass women, getting out the way and moving on to something next, like to make it more fun, they have to have that dramatic kind of like slide of this one major event. And it gets boring a bit, and I don't want something to go stagnant like how they behave in Potomac and Atlanta and Beverly Hills. I want it to flow good like it is doing in New York at the moment, because it really is flowing well, and it is. The thing is, that's all like I need to really say, but just watch out for Lisa Barlow. I call her Lisa Barlow because she's boring. And
she's horrible. She's a horrible housewife. She makes a horrible housewife. Don't you think?
Yeah, she's
a horrible housewife for Bravo because
she's vapid. She's so vapid and see-through. It's unreal. You don't get Lisa's real personality. The most you've seen Lisa real is when she went for Meredith Marks the other season.
That was the real Lisa Barlow.
That is where you saw the real Lisa Barlow, and that's the only glimpse you're going to get to see of it, because she had to catch herself at the end and realize, I can't do that because I'm going to look crap in front of everyone. As for the lady, Trish, I'm not Irish. I'm from the northeast of the UK, and when I get time, I come and say hi to Krista because I'm always really busy. But like, I try and make the effort to see her because she's on at a better time for me as well.
You DM me and tell me, because I know you're probably 6 hours ahead of me. I think maybe.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my grocery shopping coming. It's arriving any moment. That's why I wanted to quickly get in here and tell you what I thought before it comes.
I think about you too, because every time a Lisa thing comes up, I'm like, oh, because I know we have the same brain when it comes to her.
There's some people who worship her.
We don't know where she really lives. We don't know what her real life looks like. We don't even know. Listen, we didn't even see a lot of John this season yet.
Her son wants to go on a mission. She didn't even know about it. Yeah. I mean, that screams, I want to get away from you. And he's here. I've got to go, Krista.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you, but I'm trying to make it every Friday. Please, every time. I want you. I love everybody coming up with thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
DM me. But yeah, listen. Everybody's trying to do their housewife job. I see this, but there's real things that I'm so interested in. I really want to know more about Monica. I want Monica. I don't think they'll ever figure it out. They probably, like I said, this is an issue that it's really deep, and it's Monica, and bringing her mom on, knowing this relationship that she has, that's a lot. She's bringing her mom on the show, knowing they have not a very nice, a good relationship, nobody's fault. And, so trying to have this discussion, her mom in the moment is the only one knowing why her daughter's acting that way. And like I said, I don't think anybody was at fault, except maybe Angie a little bit, because, she thinks that she's doing a housewife thing, but don't complain when things don't go the way you want them to. When you try to have a conversation with somebody and come at them at your event, don't get upset when it doesn't come out the way you want it to. Because what did you want Monica to do? Lay down and just be like, hey, did you want her to just agree with you, Angie, and be like, okay, Angie, you're right? No. And you obviously saw her getting upset. I'm just saying, we've already discussed it, but you saw her getting upset. And then you have your husband saying, oh, well, we don't act like that here. And it's just because you guys are strong enough, Sean, you cried on camera, just because you guys are strong enough not to show your emotions on camera. Obviously Angie's a businesswoman. She was able to really just stay calm, which I felt oh my God, she turned into a robot. But Angie's, she also had to deal with Jen Shah. They both have had to. Could you imagine poor Monica having to deal with Jen Shah the way she is? I don't know how that even happened, how that even worked, because I feel like Monica should be from Jersey. I really do. I feel like she's and it's maybe because she's traumatized all of us. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but she's a little bit like me, where she just I have some things I deal with, and it's you guys and all of my friends know not to do. In the moment, the only person that knew Monica was getting upset for a reason was her mother. But again, bringing it up at that place is just no. And then I like the fact that I do like how she has confessionals and she's able to explain why. I mean, I watch my friend who has 3 little kids, and it's I can't even. She always now she's my best friend, and there's no baby dad, whatever. I'm basically baby daddy, but she even knows I don't babysit. She knows there's a 2-hour window with me. After 2 hours, I have to go home. I don't like all that crap. I can't do it. And I know how hard it is to get rile up 3 little kids to go somewhere with a bunch of other kids at, and they all want to do something different, and they're at a party. So, also Monica, we didn't know she fell on the steps. I wish her mom would have grabbed all the kids with her, would have left with, and even though Monica told her she didn't want her to come with her, I think she wanted her mom to actually leave with her. I think she wanted her mom to help her get all the kids together and go home with her and leave with her instead of going to dance and, sitting, even though she told her mom not to. Again, her mom's apologizing for her. So you're protecting your daughter in that moment, and that don't listen to her. If you're only going to listen to her one time, The only time you're going to listen to your daughter is when she tells you not to come home with her. Why didn't you listen to her the 12 other times when she said, you chose not to listen to her when you said that, like when she told you not to come home with her? That's the only time you listen to her? No, you should have left with her. You should have routed up the kids with her. Are you back?
I'm back. I've just quickly put all the fresh stuff in the fridge.
Oh, that was quick. That was quick.
I didn't want to let you down, so.
No, I was just thinking about it too. I was thinking about, the only time that Monica's mom actually listened to Monica when she told her not to go home with her.
Yeah.
And not to follow her. But I think she should have not listened to them too and went home with her, because I think Monica probably needed her hands on at that moment, rallying up 4 little daughters to try to leave at a party. Also, why she's hurt. I mean, again, we got bad editing from Bravo. It made it seem a lot worse. I'm glad that we're getting somewhat of an explanation. But all of this was just really sad. And like when I was watching Monica in the confessionals, I'm like, this started out only because Lisa Barlow told Angie that it wasn't cool that she brought it on camera. And then it's not even about that anymore. It's about poor Monica crying in the confessionals about she wants a different mom. So again,
it's like
this is fixable with Angie and Monica, because this is something that I think Angie can feel. Maybe she has that talk with Monica separately. And tell her, look, I have issues with my mom. Like, I
think the problem with Angie is she doesn't think before she speaks, and she thinks that Lisa is this messiah to look up to, do what Lisa says to make the content. But if she actually used her brain, she would have handled that a lot better in a different situation. Of course, she's going to bring it up because Monica mentioned it to get her, but not at an Easter party. You just don't.
Right. You're going to get mad when it doesn't go the way you want it to.
Exactly. You can't shoot the messenger.
Exactly.
The thing is as well regarding Monica and her mother. I was talking to a couple of friends who were having a bit of a kiki online, like speaking privately.
Well, that's why I wanted to hear people's opinions on this, because I thought it would be a lot different. I thought I'd be one of the only ones that agreed with Monica or felt for her at that moment.
Well, this is the situation. I think that relationship is deep rooted. There's a lot what's gone on, and you can see the hurt what's going on. There's a lot what's going on with Monica's mother deleting Monica's father out of her life altogether, obviously because he's gay, and that will affect the children the way the mother's behaved. And I don't know what it is. If you look at back clips, the way she speaks with her mum, it's like as though the mum's the older sister and the gran is the one who raised them, because she has more respect for the grandmother.
Yeah.
And it seems like the mother's like big sister. Like, and to me, it's like, was mother always there, or was mother having to work while the gran looked after them? You know what I mean? And but the big thing is with Monica is, if she wants to have an actual relationship with her mother, she has to learn to accept her mother for who she is and move forward, and don't be holding on to any grudges, because you can see it. And when she said, I just wish I had a different mother, she's holding on to grudges from years ago. The thing is, no one's parent is perfect. Everyone is human. They always make mistakes, but you can't be holding someone all the time, especially when you're in your 30s, for the same mistakes, holding that grudge. Because what happens is, you're going to bring that on, and it's going to cycle down to your daughters, and the cycle's going to continue, and the daughters are going to see that, and it's not a good thing to be sitting around. It's very toxic. So Monica needs to learn to just live and let live, and just move forward and concentrate on her girls more than encountering certain reactions with her mom.
I agree with you, because I actually feel the same way about this. I had to learn literally. Now it looks bad. I have to accept my parent, right? Like, there's no, like you said, there's no really, at this point, I can tell that there's really no fixing it, because
you can never change the past. You can only change the future.
And it seems like her mom is trying now to do but I also remember back in the, I don't know if we're around the same age, but back in like the age of, around here, your parents, it was very odd if you had a parent home with you. Your parents had to work back then. I don't know. I just feel like, she was a single mom, and like we said, we don't know what happened with the dad. I'm assuming.
I know from over here in the UK, and it'll be the same in America. They force both parents to have to work. when it used to be your parents, that used to be one used to be the main worker and the mother would stay home looking after the kids, or the five, depending on who's the main worker and what income would come in. And that's how you made sure the kids were raised properly, because you were there looking after the home, the kids, making sure they were raised and dressed right, and the breadwinner would come in with the money. So that's how they worked as a team. Now, with the way governments is, and it's all the way around the world, both parents have to work. So kids are being pushed out the side, and then it's left upon the grandparents having to pick up the pieces if you've got a grandparent. You know what I mean? To fill in the gaps.
Yeah, and then see now, like I grew up when I was growing up, I don't have any, and I don't know when any of my friends that parents were actually still together, but they were always divorced. And then if again the mom, if it was a single, a mom or dad, like their parents always had to work. So I was used to everybody always being with a grandparent or after school, stuff like that. And I understand now, but I also feel too, there's more to, like you said, there's more to the broken relationship than just that.
Yeah.
Not being there. But like you said, like there's, a lot that we can dig into.
There's plenty of what's going on there. For me personally, I think Monica's like an onion. There's more layers every time she opens her mouth, and you can see. And there's a lot of real stuff what's coming out, and that makes her watchable. Then the housewives being fake on, oh, look, I've got a Gucci bag. Wow, who hasn't? You know what I mean? Look at me. It's but this is like real situation sort of thing. And the thing is, it's juicy to get into because what it is, it relates to a lot of people, what goes through a lot of family problems. And that's the clincher. And because these people are watching, yes, they're watching for the glam and everything like that, but they're also watching to have a connection with these people.
Yeah.
And the connection is, it's real. But like I say, even with you, Krista, is you've just got to accept your parents for who they are. Yeah, all you do is don't take on the toxicity. You walk away. That's it. Do not take on someone else's problem. Don't engage in it. Don't put yourself in it to take it. And it's being self-aware yourself and not being a victim and doing your own thing and thinking, look, I'm not here to handle this. I'll see you another day when you've sorted things out. I'll get back to you. I'm on my way. That's how Monica really needs to treat her mother at the moment, because she's taken it way too far and she's making it personal.
I mean, but it is. And as a thing, like, I'm really surprised that she actually has her on the camera, like putting this relationship on camera. Now, like I said, maybe this is a way, Monica, in Monica's mind, this could be a way for them to actually watch back and get some actual therapy. Because maybe they have a therapist watch these arguments that they're having. And maybe that actually will make one of them real, or like maybe they'll both realize, I don't want that. Really, I want a better relationship. So maybe Monica bringing this to light on camera, she's bringing everything out. Like this is a way that she can actually, maybe her and her mom can get to a way better place. It's watching back everything that like is going on. But I have to agree with Trish too, and you too. Like I got to a point where I felt like it doesn't matter what I did. I just don't. I remove myself from their life, and it's not, and I get it, but I'm still sitting here wanting my mom and dad. You know what I mean?
Well, like, the thing is though, Krista, the thing is, you can keep your family at arm's length, but you can still be in contact with them. You just don't put up with the abuse, and you've got to read the signs and read the room when something's not right. Yeah. And so you've got to be paranoid and on edge all the time. It's just you not willing to take on other people's abuse. That's all. That's all it is.
I feel too like I don't even know really, like I can't, like it's not like I'm saying they're so wrong and I'm so right, or I'm so right, and there's, you know what I mean? There's just no way for us to figure something like
the way it goes, Krista, what I've found with a lot of people is there's two sides to every story. You push them together and the actual story's in the middle, because you're looking from two different points of view how each other's seeing things. And it's not until you put it both together where you get some truth. Now, that means people have got to sit down, listen to each other, respond to each other correctly, and move forward. If you can't do that, you should not be talking to each other. That's simple. That's a simple base of it, because you're just dropping more poison in people's minds. You're drinking poison, basically, taking on other people's toxicity. You just this is the thing with Monica. She's got to realize what are her main priorities now. Yes, it's hard because it's a parent. Everyone's hard because with the parent, because it's your parent. Every
Right.
kid sees the parent as God in their eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you do what the parent says because it's your parent. But parents are not perfect, and that's what people have got to realize. And maybe times parents can be wrong, and they're just trying to do the best what they know, even if it is totally wrong. And you've just got to put yourself to one side and think, would I like to be talked to like that? And if it's a no, you just say, look, I'm shutting this down, I'm walking away. We'll talk about it a couple of days or a couple of weeks later when everyone's calm together and sorted all this out. And that's what you got to do. Everyone needs a breather. I don't think Monica's mother should have went to that party.
No, I was thinking that too. Like, that's a lot to knowing their relationship and knowing, but like I didn't think Monica also expected. Well, but she should have expected drama, right? But like you said, she's been at that party. I was excited when I heard she was invited, and she invited her mom, and then you got to see, her mom meet her parent, like Angie's mom, and thought maybe like that could be like a good relationship and a good icebreaker for Monica and her mom to have another friend and mother, maybe to. I don't know, but like that's pushing it. That's actually trying to push a relationship that's not even fixed yet. You know what I mean?
Do you remember what I was saying to you last week when I said the following clip and large curves was on? It says, see the way Monica and her mother are behaving, and Monica flips with her mother because her mother's intervening too much. And you can see this build up. I mean, Monica's already set the seed saying this is how the relationship is. You've seen that. You've seen the way her mother reacts to her. And then you've seen the way the gran is and how Monica portrays a gran with loads of respect. And then you see this build up. And you can see what's going to happen before it does. But the thing what I will never like and never will get along with is Lisa Barlow, which we'll call her, with the spoon staring at. She's only welcome out like Jada Smith on Halloween night and then put back in the closet. That is it. Nasty women.
She just doesn't. She's not even being a good she just doesn't. I don't know. Like you said, everything about her is fake. And like, again, I agree. Like, I love Mary. Like Mary, we have real stuff to like dig in with Mary now.
You've seen the pearls of wisdom what Mary gave when she was talking to Meredith there about the women in the situation, how they behave.
She's talking about the women that she's right. Half of the women have not grown up and they are fake as AF. Yeah. But she could form a relationship with Angie and Monica, I think. And then they actually, I think, want to be Mary's friend.
I think something may happen with Monica and Mary the way it's looking, because Mary gives us some advice saying don't trust anyone. That's the best advice you can give someone, especially on that show. Do not trust no one.
I mean, because and that's the truth. Like Mary, I wouldn't have went to the party either unless my friend Meredith was going either, because Mary has that anxiety thing. I get why she didn't want to. But
a lot of people suffer from anxiety. It is a thing, and you can tell it the way Mary behaves and how she acts. It's part of the anxiety. It's called fight or flight.
Yes.
And that is what she's doing. She's either keeping out the way or she's having to fight with it because she doesn't feel comfortable. You can see it. You could see on Angie's What Happens Live. She was on edge, and you could see that all the time because she was on what's going to come out next. But like I say, what did you think about when her son, she had to get it out of her son of a year of him being married to someone, and they both living under her roof in the West Wing, and they didn't even invite her to the wedding.
Listen.
What's that about?
There's a lot. There's a lot there because one, it's been a year. Okay. Two, you are supporting them, Mary, because they live in the other way. Now I feel horrible. I cried for Mary because I think I guess she does. I don't know if she just heard about it after a year, but why her son not telling her?
I mean, he literally wasn't even going to tell her then until she forced it out of him.
But also, I do remember this too. Oh, by the way, Mr. Make It Make Sense. Hello, thank you for showing. Thank you for being here, guys. Mr. Make It Make Sense. But I also, there's a lot to dig into this because I remember something about Mary getting in trouble about endangering the welfare of a child, but it was because her son's girlfriend had a fight with the parents and was living under her roof, right?
Yeah.
So that they figured that out, which is, again, that would be a reason why they would probably run off and get married so they could legally be together. I don't know. But why are we not, like, Mary was going to go talk about it with Meredith, and then she shut it down. And I'm like, no, Mary, that's the only time you see really Mary's being her true self is when she's with her son. Or when
And do you know what it is? I'm going to say this now.
yeah.
I like seeing Mary's real hair for once rather than a wig.
Me too.
I really do.
I really do. I was like, oh my God, that's actually really like, because in the
He
moment,
has good hair. Show it off properly.
He cares about, I think, is her son, honestly.
I spoke to my friends about this, and a question just says, so where's the grandpa at who she married? I was thinking, has she put him in Shady Pines in Florida permanently? Because he's never there.
He's there too. He probably has his own wing too.
The thing is, though, you would think that the father would know about this, and the father would bring it up to the son, saying, "Look, you cannot do this to us, to your mother, and not tell us that you were getting married while living under our roof, and providing for him and her at an adult age." It's just like, take some responsibility. I mean, what's he going to have next? A couple of children, and Mary's having to raise them.
I mean, listen, she's like she said, he's got to man up. Well, guess why would he marry? He's living on, he doesn't have to. And I think the husband probably knows. And I think that's horrible. But why are we not? I want to talk about it. I love Mary.
Children.
I want to see what the hell's going on. And I forgot she's only a friend of. But like, freak, we're only getting that little tiny piece.
But the thing is, though, we're getting more out of Mary this season than what we ever have. And she's already the friend.
Like the witch hunt's over, hopefully, because of what I'm surprised that she's even doing anything on camera with the way that certain content creators went after her family, her life, and all of that.
It is disgusting. It's like, leave her alone. I mean, I remember back in the day, I thought of another creator, I'll not say his name, and he was so against Mary, but so up Jen's backside. And I says, Jen is nothing but an absolute criminal. 4 to 6 months later, the rumors started coming out. This is going way back, season 1. And I says, what did I tell you about Jen Shaw? And he had a meltdown on a live and deleted the live, and then came back and apologized because he kicked off. And I'm just like, wow. It's not that deep.
I just kept saying, like everybody, they were saying all these things about Mary, and I'm like, Jen Shaw's the actual criminal, guys. Mary's actually, whatever you guys are alleging, you can allege it all you want. You can say anything you want, but we have a real criminal here who 98% conviction rate. We know she was guilty. And again, she's the one who went and probably talked about Angie's husband. She's the one who was Meredith's friend. She was Monica's friend. She was Angie's friend. She's the one who told the entire group about Sean.
Put it this way, if Mary was that corrupt, she'd be in a prison cell next door to Jen right now.
Anything they were doing, they couldn't get shit on her. Whatever you want to say about her.
It's like kangaroo court for the public. There, it's their opinion and not the actual thing that's going on. Believe me, CIA, whatever you want to call them, the government things would be looking into that straight away for fraud and things like that. The same as what they did with Jen, and she was in the cell with her next door to her. It's not going to happen.
He's like one of the stupid housewives that is a criminal and then puts herself on camera. I don't think she.
Yes, exactly. No one's that stupid apart from Jen.
I mean, if you've watched a couple seasons now, you know that that's a dumb move, you know?
I mean, I thought Jen was smarter than Teresa getting put in prison, but you know what I mean?
Listen, I disagree. She's not coming back. Bravo doesn't want her because Bravo would have had would have had Coach still filming, right? Because he asked to film and they said no. I think that I think that Angie and Monica were the FU from Bravo to Jen Shaw. Ha ha ha! Now look.
I know you won't agree, and you've got tunnel vision with Jen, but I do think there will be a space for her coming back because I know what Bravo's like. I know what Bravo's like, and you know what Bravo's like. They like getting down in the dirt. If there's drama to make ratings, they will go there. I mean, look at the state of Beverly Hills. They've still got Erica on. They're waiting for those court dates to happen. That's the only reason Erica's there for, because it's still making money for them. Or she would have been gone.
I hope that Bravo is still not looking at Jen in 6.5 years, because no, she's not getting out early. She's not. I just listen.
She's going to be coming with her own little book.
With her own little her little play. Didn't she have a play or something? I don't know. She put some play in this. I'm like, this is not real life. She tells us you can't have on the TV.
It's like prison cell blockade. She's top dog there now. She's ruining the roost, and she's going to be coming out guns blazing.
I dare her to throw somebody's shower shoes off the top tier and see what happens. I dare her to do that. Throw somebody's shower shoes over the top tier shot and see what happens over there. Like,
I tell you who I don't want coming back next season. Whitney.
Really?
I just find her repulsive. I really do. She is such a contradiction. She is so gaslighting. She has no accountability for her own behaviour, and she puts on to others and gaslights them up and spreads drama. And then she can't admit what she's went and done, but still blames the other person.
I mean, yeah. And I was watching her scene with Justin. I was saying this earlier. I don't think Justin was in the loop either. Justin's like, what do you mean we have marriage problems? Like, what are you talking about, lady?
It's like Whitney's in the wrong world.
Breakfast meal on the day that your kids are going to school. If you're having issues with your husband not helping you, why are you cooking breakfast? I want bacon and eggs, by the way, right now. But why are you cooking bacon? I know with little kids.
He's working. She's got her own enterprise business. Right. Hire a nanny.
Right. How are you? Of course you're going to be tired. I said, go see a therapist then, lady. Like, why are you cooking foolproof breakfast meals if you're having issues? And if I don't know anybody that does that anymore. I don't know. Not around here anyway. You're not cooking bacon and eggs when your kids are getting up for school. You can barely get them out to school in time. And then, of course, I'm like, Whitney, you got issues. Because if this is what you're complaining about, I would not be cooking a 4-course, all this breakfast in the morning when you're trying to get kids off to school. To me, that was ridiculous.
We all know fine well Whitney is not cooking. We all know fine well Whitney's swinging around on that pole. That's about it.
I have a pole in my house too. I'm not going to fault her for that. But like, I liked her when I felt bad for her when Heather would not see her. Heather was not seeing what she did wrong to Whitney. She's not seeing Whitney's feelings at all. So I felt bad for Whitney. But when she was at the table with Justin having this conversation, Justin was so out of the loop. He's like, but you don't give me sex. And I'm like,
the gaslighting what she did last season, though, Krista, with Heather and everyone else. And Heather's going, what the hell? What the hell? I mean, and she even admitted that she admitted it without even an apology, saying she got mixed up and confused and dropped Heather in it when Heather's never even said anything. She's a health hazard.
So you're right. Okay, all right. So now I think about it with Heather. That was when I hated Heather when she did that to Whitney. But now that I see what she did to Justin, oh my God, maybe Heather's not that wrong.
Do you blame him putting his ring off and keeping it in the drawer? She's a bloody nutter. It's like, which personality are we having today, Whitney?
True. And listen, I'm also neurotic. And I say my husband would do the same thing, and it would run the same way. That whole situation, the way what Whitney was explaining. But I'm not going to make that my storyline because I know that I'm neurotic, and you're not going to catch me making breakfast. But there's other times where I'm yelling at him. I told you to help me, and you didn't. You know what I mean?
But do you know what the thing is? When he said the first thing he brought up was sex.
Yeah, because he doesn't take her serious in the moment because she's gaslighting him on camera.
And the thing is, if he's not getting sex from her. You know what men are like. If they're not getting it at home, they look elsewhere. Regardless of what they look like and how big they are or how ugly they are, they will look elsewhere. So she needs to step her game up and get back into being the actual wife.
I thought in the moment, because I wasn't really taking her scene serious either, like it was a real problem. But she might need to see a therapist because when she was saying all that stuff, I'm in my head going, I agree. I don't have kids. I wouldn't do that to myself. And I make that very clear all the time. The reason I don't have kids is because of my mental illness and of addiction and all that. And I don't have the patience. But if that's what's going on in your head, it doesn't sound like it's a Justin problem. And it doesn't really sound like it's a working problem. It's a Whitney problem.
It is a Whitney problem. And she needs to go and get diagnosed properly and get treated properly because it's going to cause problems in that family as well, with the kids as well. There's already discord because of him and his first wife.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I keep forgetting that he was married before.
Yeah. And he had a family before her, so there's going to be always discord. You know what I mean?
She's a lot younger too.
Yeah, I mean, she lied on about work the way up in the office to get married, didn't she?
Yeah. And you know what? Justin has already been like, all right, so when you think about it, Justin's already been, like you said, he's been married before. So he's already been through the whole. So like, and Whitney's dealing with a lot of things. Like she said, I dealt with my trauma last year. So she's projecting, like I said, this is a lot of Whitney problems, but
Yeah.
it really shouldn't be hashed out on camera because really it's not, these people are out of the loop. Like, unfortunately.
I think it's fake commentary just to put something in for a storyline.
Oh, you could be right. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. When looking at it, because it didn't seem like it was meshing right,
It
and it just
wasn't.
looked out of place.
It just wasn't.
It wasn't
This thing
right
was
at
like,
all.
look, you're not wearing your ring, and he's like, I forgot. Like,
But yes, yeah, Trish, it's not just women. Men need to feel the same as well to do that. It's not just a woman thing. Men need to feel it as well. But if they're not communicating properly, how is she ever going to be in a proper mental state and communication if she's not actually talking to him and she takes him out on camera to a meal and talks about it? Like,
yes,
where is
right.
the intimacy? Where's the connection? Where is the talking? Where's the communication going? This is a marriage, not just like a service. If a husband was that bothered, he would go and just buy a woman off the street, to fill his obsession. This is his wife. She should be communicating with him properly.
Yes, and that's all these things are true because like I'll say to my husband like, and then I know that it's not true. Like with the way she was acting, like I know exactly what you're saying is true, and we have to feel that way too. And there's a lot. I agree with her in the moment. But like you said, this is not a storyline where you're actually having issues. Like this is something a lot of people deal with,
It's
and
a sideline. It's a sideline thing.
Yeah, they'll fix this. This is fixable. And I think Justin in the moment was like, God damn, you woman are using our life you're using me as a storyline now, like making me look like a bad husband.
Right.
Like
Krista, you will know, for anyone who's in a relationship or a marriage, you will know it takes two people for a marriage to work, not just one. You cannot rely on the one person and blame the other person.
No.
It takes two to work at it. And any therapist will tell you that. Any book will tell you that. You've both got to take accountability for how you treat each other, as well as yourselves. Because
right.
a lot of people in relationships let the one steamroll them over and just let things pass over. You've got to make yourself notice. You've got to bring up what you actually feel, because if you are not, it's going to build up, and then you're going to have a massive falling out, and it won't be repaired, and you look like the crazy person. You've got to actually say what you're thinking, because how's that person supposed to know what you're thinking if you're not talking? Whitney's problem all over. She is not talking.
Right. And I think too, honestly, too, and if she is too, like I also recognize too that if I'm saying the same thing over to my husband and we're having the same argument, say that's the same argument we have, right? You're not paying attention, blah blah blah, and he I don't see his side of it. At some point, we're not hearing each other the way it's not working how we're doing it. We need to go somewhere and get somebody outside opinion and to communicate it with that person, because again, we're communicating our reality, our perception is based on our reality, and our realities are different. Everybody's perception is different in that thing.
At times in relationships, you're living on top of each other. You get into a certain way of things, and that becomes the norm. And that's when it becomes a bit distilled, and that's when it starts breaking the seams. You have got to always be honest with each other and be open. If you're not honest and open and you can't discuss things, marriage is never going to work.
That's true. And
marriage isn't perfect, but as long as you're open and honest with each other, and you can sit and talk to each other properly without kicking off, it will work. It's down to good communication and respect.
There's also too, like, there's an ongoing thing that's always been there. Like he's always, I've always had an issue spending money, and there's times where he's like, I feel like he probably should leave me. Like there's times where I've done things, and I know that, and in my head, I don't think that's an issue. I'm like, what do you care? Like, I don't see his side of how he gets upset about it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I'm like, what do you care? The bills are, you know what I mean? I make it like it's not a big deal.
But Chris, all you need to do there is all you need to do there is monthly. You set out what comes in, and you put a limit on what you can spend. That is it.
I've tried. Listen, I have a real.
Is Krista okay? It's on a wheel for me. Can anyone hear me in the chat? Hello? Hello? All right, hi. Just wait for Kristen to come back if she can. We dealing with a storm coming from what's come from Florida, so I thought maybe it might be my connection. It's been going on for the past couple of days. Yeah, Krista's gone, so I don't know what exactly is going on here. So yeah, and what anyway in the chat? What are your thoughts about the episode? What did you like about it, and what did you not like about it? I do know that Angie needs to stop listening to Lisa Barlow and actually come into her own. And Monica needs to chill out with her mother. I know I hate being in charge. I'm not the person who comes on and gives comments, but I'm sure Krista can work something out and she can come back on. The thing is with Salt Lake, it's really good this season, and I'm loving every minute of it. It's kicking it out of the park, and that's what it's needed to be doing for quite a while. It's not just the Jen show anymore now. You've got other people with personalities popping up, what's coming into their own. And then Mary's side comments, which is hilarious, especially in the commentary, and how she speaks to the people. She's not lying down for anyone now. So, yes, all I can say is Salt Lake is doing pretty good, and I can't wait to see next week to see how this is going to unfold when it comes to Angie and Monica. And I kind of feel sorry for Monica if she's damaged herself, because a lot of stuff is being cut out, what hasn't really gone on. And if she's been in an accident in the house trying to get the children, it's crazy, absolutely crazy. And then her mum not supporting her. At the end, you just think like, Mum, read the room, support your daughter. I love the fact that they were showing clips of Meredith at the awards event while this party was going on. I think I'd rather be at the event where Meredith was. But yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, does anyone want to say anything in the chat about regarding it? I don't know who Ken Cheeseburger is. I'm not. Shaby, are you watching NY? Because I'm in love with the new New York Housewives. It is the best. I love Bryn, Jessel, and Uber. They are brilliant. They make it fun. You should watch it. It's hilarious. And Jenna, she's coming into her own slightly now. She's not as nervous. But yeah, Bryn is brilliant. Talk about Jessica Rabbit. But as I say, for Housewives, I want to see more of Mary. I know, Erin, I love it to bits. Bryn just puts a smile on my face all the time. She's like fun to watch all the time. Bryn would be the type of girl who would be my best friend. That's the type of person I'd have. And Jessel would be another good friend as well. They're just hilarious to me. But what do you think of Uber trying to hide a relationship? Well, in a way with Uber, I kind of feel like, in a way, I understand why she is, because if it's not perfect, it could, what's the point in bringing them on in the public if they're not going to last the distance, if you know what I mean? So it'll be like treading lightly, not wanting people to know yet until they're totally solid, which I can understand, but I'm Sai, what she did to Uber was bang out of order, and then she put it on to Bryn because Bryn opened her mouth. No, Sai, take accountability. You were the one going around telling people about Uber's relationship. Bryn, I love Bryn's comments in the commentary saying whether she likes it or not, she will kiss Jenna. It was hilarious. Bryn takes no for an answer. Hey, she's crazy. She will not take no for an answer. It's madness, but it's hilarious to watch.
Did I really just get back in?
You did. I can hear you now.
Oh my God, my computer died and I just like literally I couldn't get into my phone. Oh my God, you guys are still here. Thank you.
Krista, I've never ever once had to take over someone's show.
I'm like, there's no way. Can you see me? I was like, there's no way they're still there. The light's really bad. Oh, my phone's horrible.
I'm trying to hold it down for you to get back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But that light is a bright light. But so,
Krista, I'm telling you now, you've got to get into the new NY. It is good. It is so good and juicy. It really is.
Now, I thought it was over. I thought the season was over.
It's coming to the reunions now, and it's going to kick off in the reunions. Jessel's not going to hold back, and neither is RHOBH.
Oh my God. I was like, so I really thought, like, I mean, I'll try it. How many more episodes are left? Like,
Well, they'll be going into the reunion now, because
okay.
the last episode finished this week, I think, for the season. But I'm loving these women on this New York.
So what is everybody?
That's the show I look forward to every week. Then it's Salt Lake.
I didn't watch one episode. I'm kind of embarrassed. I mean, I'm kind of embarrassed that I didn't. But
you should really get into it. I know, like, I'm not being judgmental, but I've been told it's an American thing. When new shows start, no one wants to watch them, and it takes time for people to want to watch them. It happened with Salt Lake, and people started watching Salt Lake more now. And but like seriously, do not sleep on New York. It is refreshing, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Now, see, like I heard the biggest thing that happened was somebody like hid somebody's glasses or something. Was that like are they really?
Well, Uber took the glasses off Aaron because Aaron was being a bit of a dick.
I heard. So, do you think these women are going to remain be friends and so you think it'll work?
I think they'll sort things out. It's just that they need to address because I feel like Aaron tries to be top dog and she's very paranoid all the time. And she always thinks negative thoughts. I don't know whether that's a Jewish thing or not, but she always looks at the negative instead of being positive and questioning people. I mean, her and Sai more or less said Jessel's husband was having an affair abroad, and he wasn't.
I mean, we know that for sure. Did we go with him to do his miles?
Oh no, he's done his mileage. He actually put on the camera showing this is where I've went. This is all the places I went to eat, and the next day he was eating as well. And he says, "I'm just getting ready to go back home." He did it live.
Well, why didn't he just bring her with her then? I mean, I
think it was mileage for only I think there was one seat left for him. That was it to get the mileage thing so they can get a holiday.
I mean, everybody I know, like Dana Wilkie, everybody watches it, and everybody they said it's good. And then I heard some, and you're right, it is an American thing, I think. But
I mean, do you know what it is? I've seen glimpses of Sai because you haven't seen it yet, and I thought, I like Sai, especially when it came to family, the mother and Bryn's grandma for the chair and stuff, and then it's totally bipolar opposite when she kicks off and goes into demon mode, and I'm just like, Sai, you've just let yourself down once again, and I can't get past it when she goes nasty. It's just stop it, Sai, chill out. It's not that deep.
And I should be watching it because I'm sitting there saying how I'm flipping out about how stupid I think Beverly Hills is going to be because what do they think we are, idiots? And then I'm I'm complaining that I can't stand that they're doing this to us with Jersey and Beverly Hills, but and here I am not watching a new show that probably just needs a season or two to get. Yeah,
like I was saying, Chris, it's with Salt Lake. No one wanted to watch Salt Lake when it first happened.
That's true.
And I've given all of them the first chance because that's what I do to figure out who's real and who's not, that kind of thing. I've always stuck with Salt Lake. Personally, I think Potomac's too OTT now, and it's not as good as what it used to be back in the day.
No.
Personally, because I think it's just too much shock value now, and it's the way the fans go on about it. It's getting way too much like swollen. Atlanta has just gone down the tubes. I can't relate to Atlanta at all
Right.
now. It's just gone stupid.
Yep.
But I do like Salt Lake and I do like NY, and I'm waiting for Dubai to drop. There's a couple of ones from Africa. One's went and dropped as well, like a full season.
I saw that.
Yes, I've got to get into that to see what that's like. So yeah, there are a couple of things. I don't watch Orange County, and I know New Jersey's your thing, but I just
no, I will not. I'm
New
done.
Jersey.
I'm done with it. I can't talk about. I will not talk about it at all.
I think New Jersey needs a revamp as well. I really
you know what? I think they're kind of getting it, because we still have our these from last season. Now this is just on, but we also have a couple new girls, more new girls this other season that's filming right now. So I believe we are moving into a new. I'm hoping after maybe this season, maybe next season, not get rid of everybody, but I feel like we're now moving into other people, other storylines. We don't have to keep going over the same thing anymore.
It's because it's like flogging a dead horse.
Oh my God! Tell me about it.
That's what it is. I mean, there's so many times you can drag that horse around.
That's what I'm saying. You're digging. What do you dig? You keep digging, and there's nothing else there.
Yeah,
they're trying to recreate things. It's like, but that's not what we want, and well, that's not what the fans want, and nobody wants to watch that stuff. But like, you're right, and there is other. I feel like OC was a flop. Oh, to me, it was a flop. It was a neon pile of poop.
I mean, I looked at Shannon at that reunion with her hair pulled back, and I thought, is she casting for Lord of the Rings or something, or Star Wars with those ears? I was just like, what is going on?
I thought Big Bird. That's what I thought.
I was just like, this is getting too long in the tooth. Vicky can't even save this show. This show needs a but I definitely think Atlanta needs a revamp as well. The only good person what I liked of that season this year was Marlo.
Really?
Yeah. I thought Marlo brought more than what anyone else did. But the thing is, Marlo cannot hold up the whole of a season on her own. It needs a revamp. It really does.
Yeah, but I love Candy. I think that Candy is an icon on Atlanta, right? But in Atlanta, Marlo, when she got full peach, she ruined it.
I think Candy's an acorn, to be honest.
She is.
No, not an icon, an acorn. You can't get nothing out of Candy.
What do you mean? What? I mean,
I know everyone loves Candy and stuff like that.
Because there's nothing wrong there.
The money she gets, she doesn't really bring nothing.
But yeah, she's a workaholic. I think the biggest problem we have is like she's a workaholic, and maybe she should like pay more attention to her husband more, or like I don't know, dig into why her mom. You know what I mean? But that's the worst you're going to get with Candy. So it's like, you know, you can't really get blood out of a stone. There's nothing bad there. There's nothing bad there. You know.
Hi, Corey.
Hey, everybody, and I don't know. I'm on my cell, and I don't know how to post comments. So I'm sorry that I'm not posting the comments. But Corey's here.
By the way, everyone in the chat, hello. Sorry if I ever didn't say hello to you all, but hello. I don't like to look as though I'm being rude. But like I say, Krista, it's just different points of view, and this is what makes it good, because everyone has something in the Housewives personality what they can connect with. You can connect with Candy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, and it shouldn't be like, oh, you like that person, how dare you? You know what I mean?
I said all the time, we're not a cult. Like we're not cult.
Yes.
People. We don't have to all agree, and I like having everybody's different perspectives. I agree. I welcome people, you know, with opposing opinions, because I don't think I'm right all the time, and I like to see other people's points of view. It
would be pretty boring if everyone thought the same and acted the same. It would be the most boringest life.
It wouldn't be a cult. I don't think we're cult people. We're not cult people. I don't think.
Hell no.
I mean, you know, I don't think we're cult people. But it's like, you know, but there's some shows where the behavior is just indefensible anymore, you know.
Yeah, I try to avoid when it gets a bit too toxic with people.
Very, yeah.
won't let you have your own opinion, and they take over the show from the creator, and they won't let you speak, and it's like an undertone of what to say, not what to say, and people should be should be made to feel free to say how they actually feel about the show.
Oh, yeah. And then if you don't say anything, if you do that, then you get a bunch of DMs like, yeah, how dare you think this, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, why are you fighting with me? I can't even say anything because then I'm going to look like I'm a problem.
It's all different points of view, and people need to let it go. It's like, if you've got such an issue, come up and let's have a talk.
Exactly. I've said it so many times. I will discuss anything. You have a problem with me, my opinion. You are welcome on my channel to come up and have a discussion with me about it. Air your grievances with me. And like, honestly, like, I'm not, I don't hide anything really, but I'm also I'm a hot mess half the time. But like, I don't argue. I try not to argue in the comments. But like you said, like I don't go to, if somebody's telling me the whole time how, like, when I'm voicing my opinion and I'm getting shut down and like them getting like death threats over it. Who wants to go? I'm not going to go back to that channel. Like, I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, it's a bit OTT. I mean, what I've noticed is a lot of people forget that people go to the chance to support them, and a lot of people forget that maybe everyone doesn't have like Cash App money or sponsor money, but you're there supporting them by putting a like down and giving them content to talk about. Mm-hmm. And that's the people I think a lot of the content creators forget about as well. When they get really high.
This is what I like. I like talking about the shows with people that are like-minded like me. Not that we agree, but like-minded about reality TV. And don't just bash somebody, but like, we can sit there and we try to discuss, why do they act this way? Like, we really get into why these characters are created on reality TV. To me, because I struggle with mental health, I struggle with addiction, I struggle with issues, and everything I watch, I'm like, okay, well, let's figure out, why are they acting like this? You know what I mean? And like, how did you get to this point? Instead of saying, oh, they're a piece of shit, and that's it. Like, team this person, the other person's a piece of poop, and that's the end of it.
Chris, the thing is, everyone has something going on in their lives. No one is perfect.
Right.
And they're not. People forget that people are human.
Exactly.
People are not perfect, they are human. And this is what people need to get into their heads. No one is perfect. No one can be perfect. And if you live your life that way, thinking that you are, there's something definitely wrong with you as a person.
Yeah, you end up like Lisa Barlow.
You make mistakes, you learn from them, you build on them, you move in different directions. Life is about learning and experiencing and moving forward. Not living in circles in the past.
Yeah, and I hold on. I'm the worst person to talk about not holding on. I don't know what it is. I cannot. I'm a grudge holder really bad, and it's actually kind of heartbreaking, because that's why I don't. There's like,
who's it hurting? Is it hurting those people who you got a grudge against, or it's hurting yourself?
It's hurting. Well, listen, us being in me having a relationship with those people is hurting both of us. Won't hurt both of us anymore, because there's things I just can't forgive. But like, I did let it go for myself, because I understand that I felt that poison for like that hate. And there's sometimes I do start to go off on here. Like, I hold on to things and I don't know how to let them go. So then I just remove myself. So I don't create any more.
What you'll find out, Krista, is the only person what has the keys to control themselves is yourself. It's what you allow in, it's what you allow out. What you put out into the world, what you take in. You can say, I'm not taking on this. You can say, no, actually, I'm not going to say that to someone, because I wouldn't like me being talked to like that. You do have power and control of how you move forward. And it's called being self-controlled and how you behave towards others. And the thing is, it's not about people getting the last word. It's about you actually taking the grown-up move, just saying, look, I'm going to protect myself. I'm not getting involved in the toxicity. I'm going to move forward. I've got more in my life going on than sitting on for petty grudges and things what I cannot change in the past, but I know I can change in the future for my own benefit.
But then what do you do? But what do you do with the people that you love? Like, the people that you say, I do let go of like the hurt and stuff, but like, it's lonely. I kind of like, I don't really have.
Everyone gets lonely, Krista. They do. It's what part of growing up. But what you've got to do is you've got to fill your time with other things. You put yourself in a position where you go where people want you to be around you. You don't put yourself in a position where you're tolerated. That's the key to it.
It gets lonely, but like I agree. You know, I've started. You know, there's a lot of things I had to change about myself. Like I'm like it's only been 10 years.
Everyone changes, Krista. You're not going to be the same person as what you were when you were a kid. You're not going to be the same person as what you were in your teens, the 20s, the 30s, and when it gets to the 40s. You were changing every 7 years, and you see things more clearly as you get older, and then you realize what's important and what's not. This thing with the housewives, it's just a mini key, it's just a little key, just to express yourself how you feel. And it's like for people on here who's watching, like what they see and what they feel and something like that. It's just communication. And it's light entertainment just for people to have a laugh and stuff like that and to burn off some energy or some steam if they find something irritating, because it triggers them and reminds them what's going on in their life. It's all good. The bad is good as well, because it's all emotions. But what you've got to do is, Krista, is not hold on to them, because the only thing you're doing is dragging you down.
How do I let it go? I don't know how to get. I just don't. I keep saying I can move forward with my life.
You got to deep breaths, and just learn to let go. It's out of your hands. You have no control with what other people do.
I know.
You have no control for it. The only person you can control is yourself.
I know.
That is it. And that's what I've learned. You can't control what others do, but what you can do is move out of that situation to not be part of it and keep arm's length. Doesn't mean you've got to cut yourself off. You can communicate to a certain degree. But you've got to read the signs. When things is not feeling right, you move away from the situation.
Yeah, you know what? I'm like that's my problem. I'm like all or not. Like I feel like I'm that borderline personality person where like I either love you or I hate you. Like I don't have that in between where like I would tolerate the things, and then I get to a point where that's it. And I find I go from the one I love the next day, and once I turn that switch, I don't know how to. I don't go back, and it's like it's kind of a problem, you know.
The thing is, Krista, this is a part with the communication. You've got to say what's on your mind.
But what if I do, and they just don't give a shit? You know.
Then you just say, "I've said what I've got to say. Right. I'm moving forward. You can take it on board, or you can ignore it, but I'm moving forward."
Do you keep them people in your life though at arm's length? You said.
But the thing is, Krista, it's down to you whether you want them in your life or not. Me personally, I like real people.
Me too.
The longest people what stayed in my life is the ones who keep it real and who will always open and honest and say what they feel, because you know where you're standing with them. The people who are very sly and don't say things and keep things compressed and blow up is the ones to watch out for, because they are not being honest with you. And if they're not being honest with you, it's not a genuine relationship.
You're right. I've said this to a lot of them.
Real.
People, like Aaron and all, like the people I've met and that actually are like my friends. Like I've said this so many times. There's no reason that like I've always looked for like somebody always has ulterior motives, but like Aaron shows up like on here like the podcast stuff. People show up, but they don't have to. They don't owe me shit. You know what I'm saying? And they do it anyway. And it's like they're the genuine people that tell me and give me advice and that know me now enough to tell me when it's me. Like I will go to Aaron privately, be like, Aaron, it's me. Is it me? Like, you know what I mean?
The thing is, Chris, I'll be honest and open with you with me without going into my personality, because it's not that important, but certain times I don't want to be on housewife blogs. I've got things going on in my life what I'm trying to go through myself, you know what I mean? Yeah, and it's not personal to anyone at all. It's just I'll not be on YouTube. I'll be doing something different. I'll be sorting out what's going on with me. Yeah. And it's not personal, and it's not personal with anyone online. And there's only so many people I can get around to when I am on YouTube, what is going live, without offending people, because there's a hell of a lot of people I'm sub to. But when I see them and I can get the time, I will up and I will speak, and I'm the same person as what I was a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
the same person. You know what I mean?
Last year, yeah.
But like, I don't know if I'm speaking sense to you or not, but all I'm going off is my experience.
No, yeah, it's great advice because it's not the first time I've heard it. You know what I mean? So that tells me something. You know what I mean? Like, you're right.
And content creators need to realize as well, it's not personal. People
Right.
have other things going on, and it's okay not to want to go and watch someone. If you don't feel comfortable, why sit there and put up, listen to someone who you don't want to listen to? At that moment in time, you've got other things going on.
Yeah.
It's bad energy anyway for the channel, because it's spoiling for the rest of the people who actually want to be there. If like, say you got someone in a chat being negative and trolling, you know what I mean?
Yep. It's like hard enough to even do my own too. Like, and it's like I make it other people. I just really do appreciate it. Like, and I understand, like, there's times it's really hard. Like, we all have all the stuff going on, and I agree with you. Like, and I don't take it personal when you guys don't show up, but I just appreciate when you do, when you take the time to literally just sit here and just talk about it. Like, I'm not monetized. I don't want anybody's money. I just like, I've talked about this since I've started watching reality TV.
Chris,
So
this is why I don't have my own channel for, because I used to have a gaming channel, and with my life, it's up and down and all around. So I come when I'm free. That's why you won't see me constantly all the time. But when I do come, trust and believe, I bring me thoughts.
And you do, and I know, and I love it too, because I'm like, Fridays are starting to become like where I don't want to, you know what I mean? I want to make sure I show up and everything, and I do, because I do find now that I'm actually trying to keep to a schedule, and I'm not, you know.
Well,
like,
I know. Not next week, but the week after, I'm having surgery, and that's on a Friday.
Oh, we had to pray for you. Well, are you okay?
Oh, they having to replace bone in my knee and stuff like that.
Did you?
Because my knee was smashed, and it's been
Yeah.
like that for a while, and it's not mending, so it's going to be a long process.
You did that last year, didn't you?
Yeah, and they still. I've had 2 operations since, and they still haven't gotten it right. So they having to take bone out of my hip and put it in my knee to try and mend my knee. It's crazy. The stuff what they having to do with it.
We're gonna have to. Yeah, we're gonna. So we
Anyway.
get the Juice channel. We'll have to make sure we say prayer. Like, we'll definitely be saying prayers for you, and like, try if you can let me know you're okay. You know,
when I'm back online, I will let people know, definitely.
Yeah, like I'm like, I'm not going to send the troops out, but you know, I know you have, like, I just, you know, I appreciate you, appreciate everybody that shows up, and like, you know, we all do. None of us we respectfully disagree, and I noticed that.
Yeah,
you wouldn't be able to watch us and not hear us and think that we disagree. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't make it like, you know.
It's just. You know, and thank you, Corey. It's just your opinion. It's a different point of view. And people have got to realise on these chat things, you've got to be open to listen to others. If you're not open, it's going to cause fighting and all sorts. And what over a reality TV about housewives? Come on.
I'm telling you, like, I appreciate it. It's definitely, it gets interesting. And I appreciate it. Like, I do listen to all the advice too. But like, I do feel like too, we all have, like you said, our reality, our perspective is everybody's based off their own reality and our perspective. Yes. So you have to try to understand, like, I try to understand both sides of, like, Angie Monica and her mom.
Yes.
And you can see where none of them are really trying to hurt the other. It's just they're reacting off of their, you know, the past, the trauma, and they're all in their head, you know, and it's like her mom's hurt, she's hurt. And it's just like, I'm glad that we can all see that side of stuff and be like, okay, we're not sitting there calling her that.
This is a because I don't know if I said that right, but thank you. The thing is, what people forget is they expect people to be a certain way, how they were raised. You don't disrespect your parents, stuff like that. But the problem is, in real life, you don't know what's been going on in that family.
Yep. Especially
that reaction out like that, because no one comes off just out of nowhere with that kind of reaction. That is built up. And when Monica is talking in the confessionals about being mistreated over and over again, that she had a different mother, that's a massive thing.
Yes, that's
going on. This is deep.
Huge thing, huge.
So there's a lot more going on than what's being betrayed. But it's like I said, Chris, like to you, Krista, as well, you've got to leave the past in the past, because you cannot change it. It's done. But what you can do is change the present and the future, and how you behave and how you see people and how you'd like to be treated. And like I say, you can keep people at arm's length. You can let people in your circle. You can do what you want to do, but that's on you, because that's your choice. how you want your life to be. You've got to look after yourself first. And it's not being selfish or narcissistic, because if you can't look after yourself first, you can't help anyone else.
True.
You're not open to help anyone else. You can't be supportive of your partner, your children, or something if you haven't got control within yourself. You need that first.
You're so right. You're so right.
The key is, and it's very hard because I've got an evil younger sister. I
Same.
do, very toxic one. I
Same.
get on with my older sister, and we fight, we argue, but we get along with each other. And I do a lot for her, and always buy her gifts and stuff. My mum as well. And with my younger sister, I keep her at arm's length because she hasn't learned to grow up yet and actually behave like an adult. And she's not ready for that until she works out her own demons, what's going on with her. I'll meet her when she's decided to be mature. But until then, I'm happy being safe with me. And it's kind of like you, Chris, you just got to learn. Be good with you. Learn to be good to yourself. Start loving yourself more. And that doesn't mean to say, oh, I love myself, blah, blah, blah. It means respecting yourself, not lowering yourself, not getting into arguments with people. It means looking after your own health, because that's more important.
You're absolutely right.
You can meet people later on the way on the journey when they've sorted out their stuff. But if they kick off again something you don't like, you keep going forward. It's not your problem.
I really appreciate you. I really appreciate everybody in the chat today. Like, everybody really likes this. I'm going to keep the whole thing because even though it's at 2 hours and 20 minutes, I appreciate you keeping it going for me. And then Erin dropped everybody's links in the chat. Thank you, Erin. I wish I could. I don't know how to post from my phone to post the comments that you have, but I'm going to make sure that the links go in the description. So, but I appreciate you coming up.
I mean, I was just telling a friend, this is the first time I met Krista Marie. She was online for ages, and I stayed up until 5 o'clock in the morning making sure that you were going to take your medication. And I thought, no, I'm not going to leave this woman here. And you took it in the end. And that's what I'm saying. This is what people need to do. People need to start actually looking out for each other, start actually giving a damn. And because this is what goes on, it's real life, it's not made up. And I'm so pleased that you took your medication.
You were not
there to help you.
Yeah, you were right. And you would not, I watched that back and I cried. I was like, oh my God, like, you know what I mean? I just, cause I feel like you said, I feel like the victim all the time, but I just wasn't used to that, you know?
No,
I guess because my family gave up on making me take it. They just, because my husband, he's like, I said, why don't you question me anymore? And he's like, because I'm tired. I'm not going to keep doing that for the rest of our life. He's like, if you're not going to take it, you're not going to take it. I'm tired of,
I've just given you the best advice. You hold the keys to your own future.
I got things to work. I got to work on that. And I keep saying that, but I do have to work on it because it does hold me back a lot.
Well, only you can move forward. Or you're going to stay in one place stagnant forever. It's down to you, no one else.
You're right.
It's your life.
You're absolutely right. You're right.
As long as you're not harming anyone else, you keep moving forward.
And I honestly, like, I am going to work on going places and not, and just being, not just, being not affected if something's going on. Like, because I don't want to.
Because don't get me wrong, it's hard. It's very hard because some people know how to get under your skin and flip the switches. Yeah. But it's called self-empowerment and self-control. You're in control of yourself, no one else. Do not give other people your power to control your behavior and how you behave.
I'm actually kind of like, I haven't done anything in so long, in years, because I can't control myself. But the fact that I really should just try. You know what I mean? It's been so long. Maybe I could do it. Maybe I could. You know what I mean?
Just do what Meredith does. I'm disconnecting. I'm disengaging with you. It's all you
Meredith. I'm like Meredith. I'm disengaging.
Disengage. Just disengage. Get back to you. I'm disengaging. I'm not putting up the toxicity. I'm disengaging, walking forward. That's what a grown-up does. You've got to look after yourself first. If you can't handle the situation or you feel it's negative and toxic, You got to look after yourself.
I agree. All right, my husband's walking through the door. But
Right.
I
Thank
love you
you for letting us up. I'm going to drop down and thank you, audience, as well for listening. I'm sorry if I waffled on a bit too much, but I just wanted Krista to see what's really going on. And I hope it's hit with her and realizing it's down to you as a person and how you take things in and how you want to behave back.
I appreciate it.
That's what it's about.
Yep, and everybody's appreciating, everybody's listening, and I'm taking it all in, and I love you all. Thank you.
Right, goodbye, everybody.
Bye, guys. I'm going to let this guy get down to yeah. I'm going to hang up too, guys. But thank you guys all. Erin, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for sticking around. And I'm glad I got back in. And this was a great live. And I'm glad that I did it. We stayed on because I feel like I said, we all have great advice for each other too. And like I understand exactly what he was saying, and I agree. So it's probably more time for me, more of an adult, but I love you all. Thank you for coming. I saw everybody in and out. I appreciate you guys. Again, it'll be on Spotify, Apple, probably just like the first hour or two, but then this is always on YouTube, guys. So hopefully, thank you guys all for coming, and I will be back on Monday. And oh my God, guys, if you haven't watched Southern Charm, Erin, I'm not kidding you. This episode is really good, and I just want to give you a trigger warning. It's very sad. Okay, it's a really, really sad episode, and I didn't expect it. I didn't know that this happened while they were filming. Something had happened, and it's just a really good. And I'm definitely going to talk about it on Monday, but I couldn't even. I sobbed the entire time, but it's really good, and it hit home. It's definitely good. But this was an excellent live, and thank you guys for coming back every week. And Erin, I know, but just watch one episode. Just maybe not. It's kind of sad, but I do want to talk about it on Monday because it's just something that I think a lot of families have dealt with. So it's definitely, I'll have trigger warnings in it, but I love you guys all. Thank you for all the advice, and thank you to my guests. I appreciate everything, Erin. You know how much I love you. Many, I love all of you. Sorry, I couldn't post the comments once I got on here. I don't know how. I didn't want to hang up the live and mess it up again. But all right, guys, I will talk to you later. Like, comment, subscribe. And this was amazing, guys. And I hope that everybody got something out of it. So, all right, guys. I don't even know how to hang this up. Love you.